You are now listening to the Sae Bae Cast, the #1 old school RuneScape podcast featuring guests from all across Galanor. To support this podcast, visit the Patreon link in the description.
All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 60 with EVScape, or as I'll call him, Jake. How you doing today?
Very, very well, my friend. Thank you for having me on, and thanks for staying up so late to make it a bit easier for me.
I have
3 o'clock over there.
Yeah, I have been on the degenerate schedule as of like the past 2 weeks, so this is like actually completely normal. So
I'm with you on that one.
Flip flop. I don't know if you do that. Like you probably have your life together and shit, but do you ever go on like flip flop schedules or it's just all of a sudden?
I'm so far from having my life together. Like I also flip flop. Sometimes I'll just be on like a good couple of weeks there where I'm getting up at like 9 o'clock in the morning, going out for a bit of cardio, hitting the gym, and then like recently, the last week, I've been going to sleep at 9 a.m. man. Waking up in the middle of the afternoon.
That is literally fucking me right now. Man, it like flip flops. Like I will be having the best week. Like I'm working out, I'm eating right. I'm just like I'm on a roll, and then all of a sudden, like I'll just have one slip up where it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna like just disregard everything, and then it like stacks for like 5 days in a row, and then it's just all of a sudden I'm in this like weird limbo. I'm like, why did I do that to myself again?
100%, and it always happens when like something is happening on RuneScape where I'm just excited. I want to play like leagues. Leagues is the reason why I'm been up so late, and it's like I was in a good spot, waking up and like before the afternoon, like not as good as it could be, but before the afternoon most days, and then leagues comes out, and all of a sudden like I'm just sat here chopping trees at 6 o'clock in the morning thinking, oh, damn, I'm having the best time of my life,
Yeah. See, you're a YouTuber, and you can, like, I don't know, like, I kind of want to get into YouTube and, like, how you've kind of seen growth and stuff like that. Because, like, for me, I wanted to test out leagues, and I wanted to make a YouTube series, because I've never made a series. I just make random videos of me talking about stuff.
Yeah.
And so I tried it, and I did it for about 3 days. I kind of burned out of leagues as well, but like I don't pull views because I'm not known as a series maker on YouTube.
Yeah.
So like first video gets like 2K, second video gets like 1.5K, third video is like barely holding on to like 1K. And I'm like, yeah, this is not lucrative for me. But let me ask you, how is it to just be able to make kind of like a series like that, or just?
Yeah, well, it's funny that you mentioned the drop off. Like you get 2K views and then 1.5 and then 1,000. Like historically for me, whenever I do a series, that it tends to be how it goes. It always seems as though like the first episode of a new series is always the one that pops off, and then it just tends to slowly die out. But I think that might have some sort of a correlation with the fact that my content isn't overtly insanely entertaining like the solo missions of the world, and I think people get excited to see a new series. They think, oh, it's going to be a great idea, and then they sort of watch it and they go, oh, okay, it's just this fucking Australian dude talking shit to his computer with like really bad editing and like no background music, like and then it slowly dies off. But yeah, I mean, it's nice in the fact that I can sort of just sit here and play, and I don't have to be entertaining all the time, like in regards to like YouTube instead of streaming. But it was also nice, like when I was streaming instead of doing YouTube, it was also nice to be able to just click the start stream button, sit there, talk shit for 6 hours, and then get off. Like I just leave my computer. Nowadays, it's like there's a lot more hours I think that go into making YouTube videos, and I sort of can't just like get up and walk away. I don't have to be present all the time and entertaining and expend that much energy, but it feels as though I'm putting in way more hours just to get a video out compared to being able to just wake up, click start stream, and then get off when I'm done.
Absolutely. And with the leagues, it's even worse because like you have to put in a shit ton of hours to be somewhat relevant. Like you can't be playing 3 hours a day and then make a little video of it. It's like I was putting in like 14 hours, and then I try to edit stuff like while I'm still playing. It gets like overload. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nuts. And to bring up solo mission again, like that dude, like I've spoken to him a few times in the past, and he is just insane. Like I think there was one dead man where I always try and go for rank 1. Yeah, he's so hard to beat, but you need the clickbait for the thumbnail.
You need it.
So I always try and go for rank 1, and I was talking to him before, like a dead man. I was like, I'm gonna go for it. He's like, good luck, kind of thing. And then a couple days in, like it was probably 50 hours of the start, and I was like, how have you managed to get 2 videos out and maintain rank 1 for the first 2 days? And he was like, I'm just about to go to bed for the first time. And I was like, right, there it is. How have you managed to stay out? I've slept twice, like it's absolutely insane. That guy's work ethic is just top notch. And like, this year with leagues, like it really showed, because I tried to cut back on the amount I'm playing and get outside a bit more and see my friends. And I was just, after the first 3 days, I was just so far behind. It just wasn't even funny. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, no, solo mission is something fucking else. Like like on top of him just playing and being efficient and just not sleeping as much, he also was like written out his strategy. Like he knows exactly what to do. It almost is like you just watch solo mission do something. It's like he is the guide, like he's getting rank 1 every fucking time, and he's making videos. Like, oh my God, like that is so overwhelming. I don't know. Like
it's like he definitely, like by far and away, it's not even close, has the best work ethic in RuneScape content creation at the moment. Like he is just constantly on, like he has a plan, like obviously for his like dead man mode strategy and his league strategy and stuff like that. But this guy also has a plan for like his videos coming out, like even when Dead Man isn't on, he has a plan for like how to get subscribers. He's got a plan for like all of that stuff, like all written out, all ready to go. And like he puts in the hours, and obviously like, hard work pays off. It really shows.
Yeah. No, I had him on the cast, and he was talking about how like if somehow if his like YouTube thing just went down or went away somehow, he is a smart dude. Like he went to school and stuff, and like he would be making a lot of money even if it wasn't for like YouTube and stuff. Like he's just a genius. I don't know.
He's
just a successful person, and he's always smiling too.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy as well. It's insane. I can't remember if it was him or not, but I think, does he have like a master's or even a doctorate in something, like whatever he studied at university? Like he really went for it.
He did. I can't even say what it is because I can't remember. Like I can kind of remember, but I don't want to misspeak. So
yeah.
But
insane.
He's just a smart dude, really bright, and like the fact that he's in RuneScape and getting rank 1 in RuneScape is just so weird. It's like he could be successful at anything,
Yeah, absolutely. And like I met up with him at RuneFest. I think it was 2018. And he sort of just like kind of jumped in with our group, and he just fit in so seamlessly, like jumping in, joking around. Like he ended up staying at my Airbnb that night. Like he's just, he's a legend. I've got nothing but, good things to say about that man. Good boy.
Yeah, that's, I'm really envious. So I joined the content creation scene early 2019. And of course, the next year was COVID and all this stuff. So it was like I was planning for these RuneFests and these events and stuff, like not really planning them, like writing them down and stuff. But like that was always on my mind of I get to go meet some people from my stream and other creators that I really look up to. And then it just hasn't ever happened. So how was that for you? Because I always see pictures of you with all the boys, like the content creators. And I was just like, that's so sick. I want to like meet up, but I'm such a fucking loner over here, like in Alabama.
Yeah, no, dude, it was unreal. I went to RuneFest twice. I think the first one I went to was 2018.
Okay.
And we got an Airbnb. There was myself, Lynx Ocarina, Rug, and Wild Mudkip. We got an Airbnb for a month together. If I'm honest with you, a month was definitely too long away from home. Towards the end of it,
really long.
Yeah, I ended up getting sick of it towards the end of it. But like, I had such a great time, Yeah. And then the following year, I was fortunate enough to actually get invited by Jagex, so they flew me over, put me up in the hotel for the couple of nights, and then ended up staying in a week and got an Airbnb with Lynx Ocarina again. And oh, dude, it's just so unreal because like
That's so sick.
it's great to go over and like see another country and that, but I'm much more of a people person than a sites person. So just to have like all of my online friends in one spot, like for a whole week, and just to party, chat shit, go out for lunch, go out for dinner, like it's just yeah, it's awesome. It's such a great experience.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I hear a lot of stories of, especially like those stories where Jagex like pays for you to go out and like
Yeah.
test things, or the mansions. I think Foe was talking about those, the Dead Man Mansion. Was it Dead Man Mansions? What was that?
Yeah, Dead Man Mansions. That
God,
looked so good. That was actually a little bit before my time. Like that was just as I was starting to come into the content creation scene.
Really?
But, oh, it looked so good.
Oh yeah, I'm like, it's like we always think of, oh, Jagex, you know, this shitty customer support and stuff like that, but like, damn, they really treat their content creators pretty damn well. Like just flying them out, keeping them at a mansion, like everything paid for. Like, damn.
The ones that get treated very well, but then there's been some cases where they've not done the best things for some creators. Like Ron plays games. He got asked to do a game show at RuneFest, and they didn't fly him out. They didn't give him a hotel room. They didn't even give him a ticket to the event, and then they didn't pay him for his game show, and he had to like
what?
Yeah, it was fucking outrageous. And like that was the year that I got flown out and put up in a hotel.
Bruh,
and this dude's like he's actually doing work for them, and like he's getting treated like absolute garbage. And they were like, "Don't worry, like we got you on the next one. We got you on the next one." And then they just didn't. And I was just like, "Oh, it was outrageous."
That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I would be fucking pissed. In fact, I would go up there for my event and just like start flipping everybody off, like, "Fuck you guys!" No, but
yeah, we sort of said to him afterwards, like, you should probably say something. I think he did end up getting paid for it, but
I was gonna say, you gotta say something. I mean, hope it got resolved at least somewhat.
At the time, it was sort of just like, oh my god, like this is absolutely ridiculous. But I think he got it all sorted in the end, and he mentioned that like next time they do it, he'd be keen to do it again. So I mean, he must have been happy with it in the end. But yeah,
okay, interesting. Yeah, I hear of like, whenever they do little events in game, and then they're like, okay, whoever's the first to this is gonna get a plaque or a fucking inferno. It's like they just bring up false promises, like completely like premeditated false promises. Like, we're not gonna send this out, but let's hype it up by just fucking lying.
Absolutely. Like my favorite example of that is did a bit of one Golden Gnome for best new YouTuber in 2018, and he still to this day has not received his Golden Gnome. He still doesn't have his Golden Gnome.
I just love it. They just promise these. It's like, just stop promising them. Nobody's asking for you to even. I mean, Golden Gnomes are different, but like when there's just random stuff that you're giving away, like why don't you just not even promise it and just make it a surprise or something? Like, I don't know. It's like,
I mean, I think the worst part about that is like the poor JMods that we have contact with on a regular basis. Like, we can just tweet at them. We can talk to them whenever we want. Those are the guys that are not responsible for shit like that. And they're the ones that have to cop so much from the community. I feel so bad for them.
Yeah. And like, I try to think in my situation, because I've never been that person that's missing out on a Golden Gnome or something, but I've never put blame on like an individual. It's always just Jagex. It's like this entity that I don't even really consider when I'm saying it. I'm just fuck Jagex. But it's like, I love the J-Mods to death. I think they're a great bunch right now. I think it's the best bunch that we've ever had.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always at the company and not the individual. But I've had a few instances where I've tried to say something about the company and accidentally may have targeted one of the J-Mods, and they got caught in the crossfire. And I always try, it's always a company, it's not the individual, and like they're just there to do their job. Like, these poor guys are getting paid, and I can't even remember what it was, like minimum wage, like really not getting paid much to work there, and like they've got to cop all this shit from the player base. Like, it's insane.
See, that's always been like the rumors, like Jagex doesn't pay their player or their employees enough. But like who knows? Maybe it's still a conspiracy to put the tinfoil hat back on. But like every JMod I've talked to, they're actually like, yeah, they actually pay you quite well. Of course, it's not like the best, but it's like pretty damn good. I don't know.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, maybe that is just something, that you've heard through the grapevine.
Nobody ever actually says the number or anything, but it's either just like, oh, they don't pay him anything, or it's like, oh no, it's good. But it's
I made a tweet one time when I got what was after the Golden Gnomes in like 2020, maybe last year, I can't remember. And I mentioned about the head of eSports. And this was one of the tweets that I made that was accidentally targeting a person instead of the company. I was trying to target the position more than the person, but I worded it poorly. And I'd mentioned the salary. The tweet was something along the lines of, why did they make a position for head of esports and pay them X amount of pounds a year when I'm doing their fucking job for them? It was, I was on a mad one, and I worded the tweet very poorly. It was trying to say, Jagex is a shit company. And I can't remember exactly the amount that I said, but I had meetings with Jagex afterwards, and they were upset that I had mentioned the salary. And I was like, damn, I must have been pretty fucking close then. I must have been pretty spot on with it. Like if they're upset with it, I just picked a random number out of nowhere. But yeah, if that number was real, it's a lot of money, let me tell you.
Yeah, sometimes I think sometimes the only way, and again, I've never been in the situation because I feel like I'm heard well enough and stuff, but like sometimes it gets to the point where there's a crossroads where it's just like I have to go out of control to get my message heard, Yeah. And some of the time that does end up being like sometimes you regret saying certain things, but you just needed to do it because of the emotion and the frustration in the moment. You just need it to get heard, because if it misses, if it just doesn't get enough fucking, exposure, then it's just a waste. Yeah. So you got to just go all out. Yeah,
exactly. I used to be pretty bad for that. Like if I really wanted to get my point across, I would say some pretty hurtful things to some people if I'm trying to be heard and feel like I'm not. But I feel like over the past year or two, I've gotten a little bit better at sort of articulating my point without targeting a certain person.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, it happens to everybody. I mean, I had Aiza on, and even he is just like, yeah, there's some things I've regretted, saying and stuff, but it's like nobody's fucking perfect. People get emotional about things. Like I get fucking emotional. In fact, last stream, I just tried to go out in the wilderness and do some wildy slayer and insta die, and then get harassed at Edgeville Bank, and I'm just like, bro, you guys are trying so hard to revive the wilderness, and then you just instantly I go out there to try to have some fun. I don't mind dying, but it's say sit. That's cool and all. I'll die and I'll re-gear, but then it's like your buddies come to Edgeville Bank and just start talking shit and then entering my clan chat. It's like, bro, this could have been a mutually fun thing. I would go out there. You could get some kills. We're on stream. It's a lot. It'd just be fun, but you just ruin it by being an ass. Yeah. By being a middle schooler. Fuck.
I agree. Back when I streamed, I used to have problems with that, to the point where I literally couldn't do wilderness content anymore just because I was constantly getting stream snipes. And fair enough. I look back now and fair enough. I'm in the wilderness. I'm live streaming. They're using information that they can freely get to do whatever they want. But the things that used to get me the most was why are they flaming me so hard? Why is this random dude I know, good PKR 73 telling me to get some sort of terminal illness? I don't know you, bro.
I know, it's really weird,
outrageous. And I'm pretty open about my life. I exactly where I live is pretty out there. I'd say my full name, and people from the city that I live in would kill me in the wilderness and then tell me to meet them at the local club. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to get into a fist fight IRL over a fucking AGS in RuneScape. What do you mean, dude?
That is so fucking weird. It's it's humorous in a way, but in the moment, the reason I hope I brought it up is just because I'll get emotional about it. I won't have a clear mind. If I were to just, end my stream, go out for an hour outside or something, just something like that, my mind would be a lot more clear and I could just say things. But in the moment, I'm like, oh my God, like I just get so wound up with this. And I'm just like, okay, just relax, leave the wilderness. And like clearly they succeeded by just making me, I don't know, just wound up. Because it's clearly their entire objective is to just piss me off.
Yeah, they got what they wanted out of it. Exactly. But it's so easy to get caught up in the moment because, you hit the go live button, you're trying to put an entertaining stream on, you've got this plan, like, all right, it's guys, today we're going to go kill Vedion for 5 hours. And then instead of killing Vedion for 5 hours, it's just 5 hours of 3 dudes in crystal bows hopping around, like attacking you every single opportunity they get. And it's just like, it's easy to get caught up in the moment because you're sat there with this plan, that's going to be a great stream, we're going to do this, and then all of it's just completely ruined from a couple of dickheads like trying to
get their attention.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, I used to get very, very upset at that, and then it just got to the point where I was like, fair enough. The more upset I get, the more they're going to do it anyway, so you sort of just laugh it off in the end.
Yeah, that's what it ends up being. The RuneScape community, like, so strange. Sometimes I think, like, of course, there's different communities in RuneScape, and every group can be toxic and stuff. But I mean, we can talk about it because I know. Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of what you do for the community with the Battle Royale and stuff like that. It's just fucking fantastic. Thank you. Just so well done. I'm not kidding. Like, it is just so cool to see you bringing the community together and having a fun fucking event. And getting Jagex to like give you some resources as well. It's like just cool.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate it.
And I know like every community is like toxic and stuff, but like there's like I don't know, like there's something about being out in the goddamn wilderness that makes people turn into that middle schooler mindset. Just like just like being ruthless.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think literally every single community in the game has like there's individuals that sort of make everyone else look bad, and it's so much easier to focus on the negative parts. Like if I have 10 good interactions with skillers and then 1 bad interaction with a skiller, I'm gonna remember that motherfucker that I had a bad interaction with way more than I'm gonna remember the 10 good ones I had. But I think what happens in the wilderness is, and I've caught myself doing it, it's like it's competition, like it's direct competition, whereas like elsewhere you don't really have direct competition. But I've caught myself like getting in fights in the wilderness. I do a little bit of PKing here and there, and like once the competition starts and the adrenaline starts pumping, it's like it's so easy to just get mad, or like if something happens that pisses you off and you say some things and then you get in a flame war, and it's like it's certainly easy to get in that position. And I think that just comes down to the fact that it is like a direct competition. Like
it's like it's head to head. It's like I was literally just playing chess before I called you. I was playing chess and the guy beat me, and I'm just fucking pissed off. Like my face is hot because I genuinely just got owned by this guy, and I'm like, oh well, there's nothing I can blame it on besides just being pissed off at the guy.
Yeah,
just 100%.
So
100%. I totally understand.
But I remember I had this interaction once where I was in a bit of a flame war with this guy that I was fighting in the wilderness. We're at Edgeville Bank, and I was in a call with Skidler, and we were both flaming this guy, and he was flaming back. And some guy at the bank goes, "Wow, you fucking PKs are so toxic." And I was like, I looked this guy up on the higher scores, and he had like 6,000 Bandos KC. And I said, sometimes you just got to do it, man. Like sometimes you have to. He's like, no, you don't. And I said, have you ever been crashed at Bandos? And he was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I was like, sometimes you just have to do it. Like,
yeah. And I really do try to not generalize the like player bases, because I know a lot of PKers and they're awesome people. You know what? There's a really good scene that we have on Twitch now of like PKers. Like we got Abyss, we got West Ham, we got Dino, which is like, they're good guys. They're just they're doing their thing. They're not like just assholes. They're just cool dudes that are just nice. And that's a good thing. That's like like clearly it's not just total degenerate assholes that are like ruling the scene, you know? So that's good. And I really, really do try to not generalize, but man, if you're of a streamer in the situation that doesn't go out in the wilderness, then you put in your title wilderness, you're gonna get fucking just.
Oh yeah,
not
for
worth
sure,
it.
for sure. But I mean, that it might even just come down to the fact that there's not a whole lot going on in the wilderness, and people want a PK, and the easiest way to do that is to just find someone on Twitch streaming,
Yep.
and then just go. It's just like, mate, they want the action, you know. But yeah, you're definitely right about like the good community of like streaming PKs at the moment. Like Abyss, West Ham, and Dino, the three guys you mentioned, I got to know them a bit throughout the Rookies BR this year, and all just such great guys, like absolute legends. And it's cool how they like, you know, they go out deep wilderness and they PK, but then they bring the stream along with them. You know, they get their clan chat going, and it's like they have their own. You can't really call it a clan, like a singles clan, but they go out and PK together and just have fun and, you know, work together, and it's good to see.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And I really do care about like this game as a whole. Like I want everything to thrive.
Yep.
In fact, like I've spent a ton of time in the wilderness. Like I've basically fully completed the wilderness, so I have had my fair share out there, and I've loved a lot of it. The times I don't like it is when I'm the streamer, so that's just my own problem. But when you're more anonymous out in the wilderness, you know, people aren't just targeting you directly. It's like you're just one of the people out there just doing your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that becomes a
lot more enjoyable when it's like, you know, you don't have people specifically hunting for you. You know? Yeah.
So,
and it's just,
yeah. I want to kind of switch gears now and talk about your content creation journey because I'm unfamiliar with it. I'll be honest. I've watched your stream back when you were more on Twitch. It felt like I don't really watch much of your YouTube, just being honest. Recently subscribed.
Don't worry, mate.
So.
Neither do I. So I don't watch my videos either.
So let's just go into the journey of it all. How did you even get into the position you're at with?
Yeah, dude. So back when I was a young lad, I started playing poker, and I did that for around 3 years. I ended up doing it professionally. It was my main source of income.
Damn.
And play online. And then all of a sudden here in Australia, there was a bill passed in Parliament which banned online in-play sports betting because they wanted to stop like online casinos from having like horse races and greyhound races that you could bet on after they had started. I don't know what the whole deal was with it, but somehow online poker got caught up in that bill because you get dealt your cards, you make a bet, and then more cards come out, and then you make another bet. They considered that in play, and they also considered poker a sport for some reason.
Interesting.
So they banned online poker here in Australia, and 3 years of like, I'm talking like 16-hour days playing, studying, like all of that just snap, gone, my whole career. And I sort of sat there for like a month, just like, what the fuck am I going to do now? And it had been quite a long time since I'd played some RuneScape, and I came across, it might have been a Bodhi video, something like that. And I was like, damn, I remember this game now. And I logged on and had a little bit of a play around. I was cutting U's in free to play. It was a fresh account, and then I got up enough money to buy a bond. And I was at the time watching some like business videos on YouTube because I knew one thing. It was that I'd spent the last 3 years without a job, playing online poker professionally and paying the bills. I knew I had what it took to do something like that again and work from home and not have to go back out and get a job. And I was like, I want to shoot for something. So I was, watching business videos on YouTube, and there was this video. I'll never forget it. This guy named Alex Becker. I'd never watched any of his videos before, and it just popped up in my recommended, how to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I clicked on it, I watched it, and his whole shtick was find the industry that you want to get into, the niche that you want to get into, figure out what the most popular videos are, and just fucking copy them. put your own spin on it, but just fucking copy them. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm playing a little bit of RuneScape at the moment. Let me have a look into it. And I looked at RuneScape, and the most popular videos were 1 to 99 guides. And I was like, oh, I used to watch them when I was younger. I reckon I could do this. And I shit you not, I made a 1 to 99 fletching guide. All I had on my account was like 70 woodcutting and nothing else. And I made a 1 to 99 fletching guide.
You hadn't even fletched yet.
I hadn't even fletched yet. I went on the wiki and I found all of the methods to do for 99 fletching. I made this video, and somehow this dude that made this business video was 100% right. I ended up getting like 200,000 views on this fletching guide.
Jesus.
And I was like, okay, I guess it does work. And then I just continued making 1 to 99 guides for skills that I'd never done before. And
on the same account, I can just imagine the 70 woodcutting account.
It's like you literally, you can watch my account from the very start, the moment I started playing old school RuneScape up until the point I maxed. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, I just continued making guides because I thought that was, the best way to go about it. And I've got a bunch of guides that, I'll be completely honest, are absolutely cat meat. I think my Nightmare Zone guide has almost 1 million views, and I tell everyone to use normal mode instead of hard mode. It's not good. And I just went about that. And then I remember the day that I made my first $2 on YouTube. And I looked at my girlfriend at the time and I was like, look at this. I made $2 on YouTube. And she was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And then, it slowly kept creeping up and up and up. And then there was a month where I made $1,000 and I was like, holy shit, I can actually do this. And then I just put everything into it. I said, I'm going to go really, really hard one year. I want to make a video every single day because for me, it's always been like, I'm not the most entertaining. I'm not the funniest, I'm not the best looking guy. I don't have the best edits, but if there's one thing I can do, it's something absolutely fucking ridiculous that's going to get people's attention. So I said that I was going to make a new RuneScape video every single day for an entire year. And that is, I coined it EV365. And it went really well. Like the start of the year, it started popping off. I went from getting 10,000 views a video to 30,000 pretty quickly. And then towards the middle of the year, it sort of just started dying off and I was getting a bit demotivated and I looked and it was just sort of I was pumping out way too many videos that were not good and the shtick was over. The excitement came from the fact that I was going to make a video every day. And then once the excitement sort of died down, so did the views. And I thought, you know what? I'm killing myself to make these videos. I ended up getting real fat. I was up for 18 hours a day, editing. Lynx Ocarina came over to visit me during that year. He stayed with me for almost 2 months. And I swear, I spent 3 days with the guy because I was just making so many videos. And 165 days in, I called it quits. I was like, you know what? I need to stop this. And then it was good. After that, the views jumped back up and I was really enjoying myself. So that's that sort of brought us to the end of 2020. And then, I don't know, man, recently, the game's just been super boring. And, you can sort of tell looking at my channel that I'm not really enjoying it as much as I used to. And it definitely shows in the videos and the views are down. But at the same time, I'm starting to make vlogs and get out more and I'm not so fat anymore, which is great. And it's nice to just take a step back from RuneScape for a bit. And yeah, but I don't know. That's literally my whole journey. That's how we got here.
That's cool though. And I know I said this before the cast, but it is really cool to see the transformation of just anybody that's doing better lifestyle choices. It's just always cool to see. And the fact that you've lost a lot of weight is just awesome. So congrats.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a long journey. Let me tell you, for the weight loss. But put myself in that position and got myself out of it at the end of the day. So
it's just awesome. I feel like I understand it more. I've lived with my older brother for 3 years now, and he gained a lot of weight. just being single and just working and moving and stuff. It just never really had like a focus on anything. So, yeah, he gained a lot of weight, but he's lost like 120 pounds or something.
Oh
in the
my
past,
God.
Past year and a half. And it's just been so cool to see, because on top of just like having more energy and stuff, it's like there was seriously like, he started thinking he was pre-diabetic because he just didn't care about what he ate and stuff. And so sometimes those little moments are just like what push you. It's just like, okay, this has to end.
For sure. It's always nice to see someone, no matter how small it is, winning. It's nice to see someone, especially someone that you care about. Like your brother, you're so close with them. Like it's always nice to see them doing well.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's so cool. Like, just being with my older brother. I mean, clearly we're getting to the age where we should probably just fucking move out on our own and maybe with a girl at this point. But like in a weird way, it is so cool to see how like our brotherly relationship has like ended up, because we used to just ruthlessly bully each. I mean, he would bully me like as a kid, because we're just just brothers being dudes, But now that we're older and mature, it's like we just try to raise each other up, and it's so much better than just being total assholes to each other all the time.
Yeah, 100%. How much older than you is he?
He's just 2 years older. See, he's 28 and I'm 26.
Yeah, gotcha. Is that your only sibling, or?
No, so I have a younger brother that actually lived out here as well for a year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He was 20 at the time, and then a little sister that's 23.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's very similar to me. I've actually got 2 brothers and a sister myself. So.
Oh, really? Are you the oldest?
Yeah. I'm the second oldest. My sister's older than me.
Okay.
She's married with 2 kids and has her life together.
Yeah, my sister also has a kid married.
Here's me just sitting here playing video games 12 hours a day, single, and then 2 younger brothers. But I totally get what you're saying about getting closer with your family as you get older, because I wasn't really the same with them when they were younger, because my next brother that's younger than me is like 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
And then the other one is 7 years younger than me. So they were like a lot younger than me when I was growing up. But nowadays it's like you're more like mates instead of brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just,
but that's cool.
You get older. Exactly. And it's like, it's so good I get to go out clubbing with both my brothers and just do dumb shit. Sick, and it kind of sucks being the oldest, because I have to be the responsible one. But, we can still do some dumb shit, but yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's weird how like the older you get, you really start, and there's no way it's even gotten to the climax of just really caring about family, because I've never, it's just like you just take it for granted. But then you get older and you're like, damn, my parents are getting old, and like my grandparents are dying. It's like, shit, like I actually care about these people, and I'm just not really, I don't know. It's weird.
So scary, man. It's so scary. Like, I would just sit there randomly on a day and be like, oh, I love my dad. He's such a great bloke. And then my brain would just go, what if he died? And then I'd be like, fuck, what am I going to do without my dad when he dies? And I'll literally just cry. I'll be like, damn, that would suck. Like, that would suck a lot. Like,
it is it is heartbreaking. Like my grandpa right now is in the hospital, and like I barely really see him often at all, so it's not like we were really close. But my mom calls me, and it's my mom's dad, and my mom just started breaking down crying because like her dad's dying. I'm like, damn, like that really, when she would say dad, and then she'd be, oh, I mean grandpa, but like she would say dad, I'm like, damn, that's your dad, like, and he's gonna die, like that's so sad, like, and her mom's already died as well, so it's just like, oh, like,
it's not good, man.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's just like, this is life, though, and it's so weird sometimes. You take a step back, and like every one of your problems doesn't really mean much, because like, I mean, like, yeah, they mean something, but like you just take a step back and you're like, man, life is so short, and there's so much more to, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And like, just on like your whole mom sort of breaking down the phone, there's nothing worse than seeing your parents cry.
Oh,
like,
it's awful.
Oh, that, talk about heartbreak. Like, whenever I reckon I've seen my dad cry like 3 times in my life, and just, oh man, like, unreal scenes. Yeah. That's the only reason I don't want to become a father. It's just because I cry all the time. Like, like, I don't want my kid to have to experience that every day. Like,
well, it'd be different if you cried all the time, because then it's just like, you just know your dad's a crier. Like,
True,
you know what's
true.
weird is I was thinking about it. I was like, when is the last time I cried?
Mm.
And well, to be honest, the last time I cried was like a week ago.
Yeah.
And it's just thinking of stuff. It just like is when
Yeah.
you're just sitting in bed and you're just like, damn. And you just tear
Yeah.
up a little bit. But like legitimately
100%.
crying in public has been so long. I can't remember.
I can't remember the last time I cried in public. I can't remember when I cried in front of someone. Sometimes I'll just be in bed at, late at night thinking about sad shit and I'll be like, damn.
Oh, okay.
Or
So,
sometimes, like, you ever feel like you just need to cry,
yeah. And it feels fucking good. It's just like release.
Yeah. And so like recently, like, a couple years ago, I was in a bit of a bad relationship and I used to cry a lot. I was just sad,
Damn.
And then after the relationship, I started getting a lot happier, and all of a sudden, I just stopped crying. I'd never cry, and then I would be sitting there, just like kind of upset one day, and I was like, man, I want to cry, but I just can't. I just can't do it. I was like, I need to watch something sad to just get these tears out,
Yeah.
And I came across an 8-minute compilation of. You ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
I have seen it. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen the full thing, but like I had a roommate that would watch all the time. Anyway.
Yeah. So one of my favorite shows of all time, and it was an 8-minute compilation of the saddest moments throughout the entire 9 seasons. And I was like, let's have a look at this. And I chucked it on, dude. And 2 minutes in, I was bawling my fucking eyes out like a baby.
Damn.
And ever since then, if I need to have a cry and something's just like I just can't get it out, I'll just watch that 8-minute compilation. And so I'm sat here crying like once a week. Just feels good, makes me feel better, and
Do it
I'll
on
just chuck
command.
this How I Met Your Mother compilation on, and it's fine.
The only movie I can recall ever crying to was The Impossible with Ewan McGregor and I can never fucking remember her name. It's a girl from King Kong, but it was just like a movie based in Japan. It was like a Japanese tsunami or something that hit the shore or whatever, and it was just this. Basically, at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, they meet up. The family gets separated because they're all in a tsunami and just fucking washed away and shit. But they all meet up at the end, and the little kid, he's like 3. He's just he's like dad, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like that shit. Like they're all like just dirty and grimy and shit, and they're just been lost for days. They meet up, and I just burst into tears. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I am so emotional right now. Like
yeah.
felt like a pregnant.
I mean,
woman.
at least they were happy tears, mate. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not much of a happy crier, to be honest with you. I sort of just smile.
Yeah. Do you know what's awful is I don't know if you go to funeral. I don't remember the last time I went to a funeral, but I don't have any emotion. Mainly because it's never been somebody super close to me. Like if it was my dad or my mom, oh my god, I'd be bawling.
Oh yeah.
But somebody that's like a great grandma, and it's like, oh, I haven't seen her for 10 years, and I was like 2. But
yeah,
I get really uncomfortable in those situations because like, am I supposed to cry or am I? And then I get to the point where it's like I start smiling because I like don't know what to do. I'm like, why am I smiling? Stop.
And then you're sort of just sat there like, hey, come on, guys. Everyone deals with grief in different ways, You're just sat there looking like the fucking Joker as he's like trying to fight the Batman or something. He's smiling at a funeral. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I'm the exact opposite. The last time I went to a funeral, my mother's side of the family is Greek. So I was at my Yaya's funeral, my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't seen her in I'm talking like a decade. And I reckon I'd seen her maybe twice in my life. Mm-hmm. And I was at the funeral bawling my eyes out like I'd spent every day with her. Like, it was just something about a funeral just makes me sad. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably just a more like emotionally, I don't know, just emotional person in general. I kind of am. Yeah. Like, I feel like I am like definitely more than my older brother, but my little brother, I mean, he'll cry about anything. So, but like he's still like a dude, and he like does manly stuff, but he's like he'll just cry about random stuff.
Yeah. Hey, listen, sometimes you just gotta have a good cry, Yeah. At the end of the day, if you feel like you need to cry, have a cry, And I don't know. I don't really worry about people judging me for it. Like, well, listen. We all cry. If you want to do it in private, you do it in private. But I'm going to do it right here in the middle of this crowded supermarket because they don't have the bread that I like, Oh, my God. I can't say I've actually ever done that, but I probably would, you know.
Yeah, I cannot recall a time I've cried in public like the last time. It's been so long.
Yeah. I used to cry in the club a lot. Back to, back to being in the relationship. I was just very, I was just not in a good spot. And I used to go out with my friends and they would hate going out with me because every time I would get super drunk and then just cry in the corner of the club. And that was a few years ago. It's been a long time since I cried when I was drunk, but damn, it was bad. It was bad for a couple of years. Let me tell you.
So let's, I kind of want to talk to you about like the burnout of RuneScape. I think there was even a topic on it on Twitter.
Yep. I think I know exactly the question.
If you can find it, just tell me real quick because I remember saying something like that.
I was I think my friend Joel actually asked that question.
Oh, it's okay. I see it actually. Joel, by the way, asks, do you feel like you're stuck playing a game you hate because it's your job?
Yep. So Joel actually already knows the answer to that question, that cheeky devil. He lives not too far away from me, so we've caught up before for a few beers. But there's certainly that aspect to it because, like, I honestly, most parts of RuneScape I really don't like. I just don't enjoy it. That's one of the main reasons I stopped streaming. I would just get up, I'd click start streaming, and I would have to sit there for 6 hours pretending I was enjoying a video game that I just was not. And like, there are certain aspects of the game that I do enjoy still, but they're not ones that really correlate to good videos. So I wouldn't say I feel stuck like playing RuneScape as a job. Like, I think if I wasn't doing RuneScape content creation, I would still play RuneScape occasionally. Definitely not as much as I do now. But I would just more do the parts that I enjoy. And that being said, it's sort of like RuneScape's the only bad part of the content creation. Like, I thoroughly enjoy making the videos. Like, I enjoy all of the other aspects of it. It's just like, I've never been a massive video gamer. Like, the only 2 games I've really ever played has been RuneScape and Halo 3 on the Xbox 360 when I was 16 years old. Like, that's just, and people always say to me, like, what, after RuneScape, what other games would you play? And I just say, I literally don't play other games. If I'm not playing RuneScape, I'm outside hanging out with the boys, like going, playing some sports, like, just getting out and enjoy it because I'm a massive people person. And that's one of the main reasons that I do like the Battle Royale and the Speedrun Cup and try and bring the community together is because I just love meeting new people, talking to people, hanging out, having a good time. So I wouldn't necessarily say I feel like I'm stuck because if I really, really didn't like it, like I hated it, I would just go and get a job. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, I wouldn't do it if I really hated it that much. But I love making the videos, like uploading them on YouTube. I love looking at the numbers, the analytics, studying
so fun.
Thumbnails and figuring out audience retention, and like all of that is just so amazing. It's just like, I don't particularly love the video game anymore. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, no, and sometimes I think, because you brought up some points that definitely remind me of me, I don't play any other game besides on my phone. I play chess against people. It is RuneScape or no video games. Like, I just don't play anything else. I don't want to play anything else. But I have always been super, super into RuneScape, which makes me different than you. Like, as a child, I remember thinking of just the perfect video game. Like, what would be the perfect video game? And I always would this is back before like GTA 5 and stuff. I mean, there was Grand Theft Auto, like fucking San Andreas or whatever, but it wasn't like but like I would think of a game, and this sounds really weird, but I played Simpsons Hit and Run as a kid on the GameCube. I don't know if you ever played that.
Yep.
And I
banger of a game.
For its time, oh my god, it's fucking fantastic. And I would just think of like, what is like the perfect game that I would be obsessed with. And you know what's weird is, like, I even played RuneScape then, and like I look at it now, I'm like, dude, RuneScape is that game that I've always wanted, where it's just an infinite time sink. Again, we are not the same in this, but I have always wanted a game that's just like endless progression, where it's like
Never
there is no end to it. But there also is, there's not like a rush or too much of a competition. There's still like that competitive side in a way, but it's just like you do whatever the fuck you want in it.
Yep.
And it's exactly what I want. And this is a little bit weird, but I've always been really into rhythm games. And I was mentioning this on my stream like a couple days ago. I was just thinking, like, I used to play Donkey Konga. You ever heard of that game?
No, I haven't.
You would bang on bongos. Like, that was your controller. You would have a bongo set. You can look it up. Like, in fact, I'll show my stream, like, Donkey Konga. It was, and they were all covers of songs, because Nintendo didn't want to put in enough money to, like, actually get, like, the real songs.
Right, of course. Classic Nintendo.
Dude, oh my God. The amount of shit I hear about Nintendo is like, luckily they have all these, like, big titles that they can just sell for, like, whatever the price they want, but...
Yep.
Let me just show this real quick. So I'll actually just take a little pic for you and show you, because it's actually really cute. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of cute. And but yeah, like, I used to play Donkey Kong. I used to play Guitar Hero. I used to play Tap Tap Revolution and shit.
Gotcha.
And I've always been into rhythm games, and I've always been very music. That was the controller. Isn't that insane? Like, you would unravel the wire in the middle and just fucking plug it in and start banging on your bongos. It's awesome.
Unreal. That's good.
But that is what's so cool about RuneScape, is it also has that rhythm aspect that is so addicting. And I didn't even know for so long that I didn't know what ticks were. You know, I didn't understand that the game is all on the cycles and stuff. And as soon as I started to kind of enjoy that a little bit more, I was like, wow, this is everything I've ever wanted in a game.
Yeah. No, I can definitely understand that with the whole tick thing, because for me, like, anything I do in life, I always just fucking, if I like it, I'm in 100%. I'm putting all my time towards it. And like, when I'm learning things is when I really get engaged. So back when I was like, you know, I was making videos when I literally had no stats. Like, the first moment I jumped on the game, I was making videos. And when I slowly started to learn more and more, that was when I really got into it. When I was learning the Inferno, I was learning how to do raids, and it was so exciting to, like, learn all of those little bits and bobs. But then it started to get boring for me once I sort of knew everything. And I was like, okay, like, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty decent. If I want to take it any further and be like the best, I've put in like 1,000 hours. I'd need to put in like 5,000 more just for a little improvement. And it's just like, that's when it sort of got boring for me. But yeah, I'm definitely with you on like the whole tick thing. It's as nerdy as it sounds, it's like super interesting.
It's just like addicting. It's just like a little, I don't know. It's just something that no other game really has that's like similarly. I don't know. It's just quirky. It's charming about the game. It's just something extra.
That's exactly right. I was saying to Elliot the other day, Skidler, he was talking about how Andrew Gow is making like a new game or something like that, and he said that the rest of the games that he's ever made have been terrible, and RuneScape was the only good one. And he got really lucky that RuneScape was so good. And I said to him, I was like, no, Elliot, you're wrong. I was like, he has never made a good video game, including this one. It fucking sucks. We just somehow got all addicted to it.
It is so weird because, like, okay, so I think of your story, and of course you oversimplified it just by saying, like, you know, you used to play RuneScape and you're just trying to find something to make money with. And so maybe, like, again, like, everyone's different. In fact, I think I'm a very unusual person that can play this game for a fuck ton of time. Of course, I get demotivated and I don't want to play as much, and sometimes I'll just take a day off. I just don't want to play. But for the most part, like, compared to other people, damn, I can put a shit ton of hours into this.
Yeah.
But no, like, I think this game is fantastic, and it is unbelievably simple. And there is a stroke of luck to it. Like, you know, Elliot said, you know, he got lucky. But seriously, if Fortnite had come out the same time that RuneScape was out, like, RuneScape just never would have hit the spotlight. It just would have been like this very niche game, you know?
Yeah.
So it
And,
is interesting to think like in the time period, and we just got all so goddamn addicted to it because that
yeah,
is the game. It's just grind, 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 grind. There's no like stopping. It's
yeah, for sure,
yeah
for
that
sure.
that like
It's
inherently doesn't really make a good game. Just click and just see number go up, but it really is addicting.
somehow it just works. But you definitely like it's so like each to their own.
Yep.
Some people really love the game. Some people play the game and fucking hate it. Some people just sort of enjoy it sometimes, and it's just like. Like I sit here and I can say all I want. The game sucks, and but I play it fucking 12 hours a day, and I definitely still enjoy myself. I'm not gonna, not gonna beat around the bush. I definitely still enjoy it for the most part. But also, like, there's a million things that I like to do that I know other people don't like to do, and there's a million things that they do that I don't like, and we can't just sit here and generalize that everyone fucking hates this game or everyone fucking likes it. Like everyone's definitely different.
Yep. I want to ask then, because you are a people person and you're not really into RuneScape and stuff, but you still have that as your like core, is like you're a RuneScape YouTuber, RuneScape streamer, RuneScape person. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I think, I have a podcast, and this has literally been the most enjoyable project I've ever worked on in my life. Just talking to people, like, and you do that, like the Battle Royale PvP stuff, and just that is fucking awesome. And of course, that's tons of work with tons of people and so much coordination. I can't even imagine. Like that would be unbelievable stress for me. I would hate to be in that position. But like, you just seem like you're having the time of your life doing it, and I'm like, damn, like that is your calling, dude. Like you gotta. Yeah, and I know if it's just massive projects, but even something on a smaller scale that you could do regularly would be fucking.
Don't get me wrong, I love it, dude. It's so much fun, like organizing the events and like getting to cast them. Casting the events is like my favorite thing to do. Like it's absolutely unreal. But like the behind the scenes, like holy shit. Like for instance, I don't know if you have heard of the Speedrun Cup, but that was an idea I hatched after the second Battle Royale. We basically got a bunch of different teams of PVMers together to do like a team versus team scenario where they would kill bosses, and we'd take the times that they kill the bosses, and the fastest time wins. And there's like a veto system, and you ban bosses and pick bosses. It was unreal. The event was so much fun to do. But the back end made me want to punch myself in the head repeatedly. Like setting that event up literally made me want to smack my head against the wall, because with the Battle Royale, it's so much easier to set up because they're all content creators. They all do this for a living. They all have all the time in the world. With the Speedrun Cup, you have to work around people's jobs. You have to like try and get them to message you back and be here at this time. And there's a team of 6 people and they all need to be there from different time zones at an exact moment. And like, it was just, oh God, it was awful. And I said that I would never, ever do that again, even though it was so much fun to cast. But we are going to be doing a second one because Hootie Tootie, the man behind all the graphics, said that he enjoyed it so much the first time that he will take the reins on the back end, and then I'll just be the face of it. So he's organizing the entire thing. He's got everything sorted in the back end, and then I'm just going to be the one promoting his event, I guess. But yeah, doing the events, I love it, dude. Like it's absolutely unreal. There's obviously certain moments where it sucks, and like trying to hear back from everyone and all the organization, and having to deal with the sponsors and figuring out how much money we have to spend, and then all of that stuff is definitely hard on the back end. But
yeah, that's like legitimate work. But the end product is just so good. Like, and
yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Like, you're a fantastic host, and now people see you as a host. Like you're like the dude that like I think if I ever saw another one of those things, like I would want you to cast it, because like I don't know, it's just like then it's like a I don't know, it's like you're like the pillar of like like that it wouldn't be a true battle royale or any kind of thing like that if it wasn't you hosting it or something.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I really do love casting. It's like that's definitely one of my favorite things to do. And let me tell you, if I could afford to do just battle royales and events and, you know, still pay my rent, I definitely would only do that. But unfortunately, they don't get me wrong, they definitely do all right monetarily, but certainly not enough to only do events. There's got to be other videos in between, and obviously having to do the other videos in between puts more time in between events because I don't have as much time to put towards them. But you know, as they grow and get bigger and bigger, and we can do more and more events, there's some things potentially coming this year from Jagex that will make it a lot easier for me to make events. If that sort of stuff does come in, it's going to be so much easier, and you'll definitely be seeing a lot more events from me in the coming years.
Yeah, there was a tweet by Thief, and he said, "Looks like the burden of PvP tournaments is being pushed onto the community members. Crazy enough to host them. So when is the next one, and will there be any changes?"
Yeah. So I don't think there'll ever be another PvP tournament, to be completely honest with you. We saw Method come in and sign a bunch of creators and then run that PvP tournament, and I was, you know, lucky enough to be able to cast for a couple of the events, but it was just absolutely unreal, the fact that this company came into the game from World of Warcraft to try and make something out of the PvP scene. Like, barely got any help from the company in terms of like setting it up. They couldn't get like a private world or anything like that. They had to like actually fucking commission someone to make a RuneLite plugin so that you could see like HP bars and prayer bars and shit on the screen. Like, they did such an incredible job, yet they still had 50% of the people that participated in the tournament cheated. Like, it was just absolutely insane. And then the final fight was two guys from the same clan in the video game, not even fighting each other, just stood there spamming their clan name.
Yikes.
And yet we still sit here and hear from them about why the fuck is there no more tournaments.
Yep.
It's like, dude, come on. So I personally don't think there'll ever be another one. I will never, ever host a PvP tournament. I'll tell you that much for free. Like, an actual like hybriding tournament, no chance. Like, I will... Yeah, that is just not for me. And like, even the people that were running the event were getting like doxxed and having like threats sent to them for like disqualifying people. And it's like, dude, like,
so fucking
it's
immature.
absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely insane. So I don't think there'll ever be another PvP event unless Jagex decides to host one. And I mean, based on the last Dead Man mode, they still haven't done the rerun for that. I don't think they're going to be doing one anytime soon. But in terms of like actual events, like, you know, PVM events and the Battle Royale, which, you know, it's technically PvP, but there's a bit more to it than just the PvP aspect. Yeah, I'm certainly keen to continue running those events, and obviously you have Soup's Gillenor Games, which is absolutely fucking incredible. Yeah. Easily the best thing I've seen on YouTube in terms of RuneScape ever. You know, and as we find success in doing those events, you'll start to see more people coming up and making their own events, and we'll get a bunch more. So, you know, end of the day, if it's successful, people see that it's successful, the numbers are there, more people will want to get involved in it, and then there'll just be more events in the future. So,
yeah. Here's a question kind of relating to it. Gote asks, how does he foresee an esports out of OSRS, as in with teams, league, championship? With other
Never
teams?
gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I personally wanted to do something like that with the battle royales, and I was looking into doing it, and it was sort of just like, you know, the amount of shit that I had to go through to get the private world the first time. Holy fuck. We had organized the battle royale. It was ready to go in January, and I was in and out of meetings with the company from January until July before we finally got confirmation that we would have the private world for a day. Like, it was absolutely outrageous the first time we had to go through it. And to organize something of that scale, like with leagues and teams and shit like that, it was going to be like, guys, I'm going to need a private world forever. And that's just not something they can offer at the moment. And yeah, it's just once money starts getting involved, like people can win actual real life money for participating in RuneScape events, like that's when you start to see people cheating. And it's so hard to track people cheating with RuneScape because there's so many different ways that you can do it.
Yeah,
And,
that's so true.
Yeah, I can't ever see it being a thing just because of how easy it is to cheat and how many different ways there are. And the fact that realistically, there's a lot of things that they can't track on their end to make sure people aren't cheating. And it's just like, yeah, it's I don't see it ever happening. And I'm personally not going to be trying to make it happen, but I would fucking love to see it. I would watch that. I'd watch the fuck out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I would watch that so hard, but it's just, yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just like PvP with, I mean, on top of like just straight up RNG compared to other esports.
Yep.
I mean, I'm saying other esports. So RuneScape's not an esport, but I'm just comparing it to like real esports stuff. Like, damn. I mean, I don't know. And again, I'm not super involved in PvP, but you just see cheaters all the time, just using AHK and stuff. It's like, how do you like prevent that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You sort of do see like cheating in all aspects of the game as well. Like in PVM, you have the cheat clients that show you where to stand and do all that shit. And I remember when hard mode TOB came out, I would run into a raid with random people that I'd never met before, and they would ask me what socket I was in. Which for the people listening that don't know, that's it's a plugin that essentially shows you the Sodazeg maze on your screen when someone else has the maze, so you can just run straight through it. And I've never met these people before, and they asked me what socket I'm in, and I'm like, you literally just asked a random person how we're cheating, like, and nothing will happen to them. They will never get banned.
No, it is
some of my closest friends do like speed runs for TOB, and they hate the cheating. They, the clients, they do world record runs, and they hate the fact that these clients are out there, but they have to use them to compete because
you have to. I know.
Yeah.
It's like fucking sad. I mean,
it's absolutely outrageous.
You see people trying to speedrun Inferno. You can't do that on vanilla client. You can't do that on RuneLite. Like, people are using plugins that, first of all, in my opinion, some of them should be allowed. Like, just getting rid of the goddamn animations of monsters. Or, like, keep the animation, but don't let us fucking click on a dead monster, you know? Like, that is, like, the biggest thing that should have just been changed. And it can't... Yeah. I can't even... I mean, again, I'm not a coder, but, like, I can't imagine that being too difficult of a thing. Of just not letting it be clickable. I liked how one of the arguments was like, the artist put a lot of time into this. Is a rumor. I don't even. I've never actually seen this said, but I just heard it's a rumor or something. But the artist wanted it to stay there. Like, he worked so hard on it. It's like, okay, keep the art, just don't let us click on it. You know?
Yeah, I think it was something along the lines of. I don't think it was in an argument about not being able to click through. I think I remember someone tweeting out like, why the fuck do we have to watch General Grador die for 15 seconds before we get our loot? And the response was like, the artist worked really hard on the death animation. It's just
my god, it's so weird.
It's unreal. But yeah,
there is a lot of cheating that goes on in this game, and the reason it's getting even more prevalent is because there's no stand being taken. Like, nobody's enforcing anything, and
100%.
And I can't say. Let me just rephrase it. Not like they're not enforcing anything. There's clearly a ton of botters being banned every day, which a lot of the time I see the number, I'm like, are you just like making up shit? Because like I see the same fucking bot that's been there for a month. Like, where the hell? Like, we just banned 50,000 bots this past weekend. Who? Like, I'm logged in right now. I see the same fucking people. But I will say, like, sometimes they have done it, and I was killing Nightmare back when like it was just being botted to hell and like gold farmers. And then one time they said, hey, we just nuked a bunch of accounts, and I went there and it was completely empty. I was like, okay, okay, that is first-hand experience. Like, you actually did something. But generally, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they they've got such a small team working on like the anti-cheating, and um compared to like RuneScape 3, obviously I don't have a first-hand experience from this, but from what I've heard like anecdotally, like RS3 doesn't have like a huge botting problem just because they have like their automatic detection is like so much better in RS3, whereas like in old school, like the best way they have of finding these bots is by Sir Pugger making a video and being like, like that's their way of finding these bots. Otherwise, poor like fucking mod tyrant has to sit there running around the game trying to find like hotspots of where bots are, like for his 8-hour shift. And like there's only so much a small team can do when they have to like actually physically find the bot farms compared to like automatic detection. And the automatic detection in old school sucks dog shit. Like I've been banned for botting before, and I've never botted in my entire fucking life. Like it's it's so bad.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect, not nowhere close, and it really is just like, I don't know. So this game would be, again, I don't know all this stuff. I'm just a fucking degen that plays RuneScape and streams and stuff. But like, so I I'm trying to sound smart and stuff, but I clearly don't really know what's going on. I'm just making assumptions about stuff.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I feel like the anti-cheat team just needs to grow and just please start enforcing stuff a little bit more, because or stop coming out with more rules. Like one of the rules is like account sharing. Like account sharing on the website, like on the rules of RuneScape, account sharing is not allowed. Don't do it. But like they word it in a way so it's like you will get banned. It's like we like don't account share, but then it's like, it's on you if anything gets bad, and then it's like, oh, but and then like you'll hear a JMod on Reddit that's not even on the official rule books just say, oh, they like you can account share all you want, just don't compete. And then it's like, what the fuck is compete mean? And they're like, oh,
where do you draw the line?
Yeah, like where do you draw the line? And I'm going to bring this up because I've already brought this up before, but like there are people that are playing Group Iron Man, and now Group Iron Man has just become the cesspool of just account share, do whatever the fuck you want. This is the game mode that nobody gives a shit about, but there are people competing on it. I don't play Group Iron Man. I don't care, but I could still empathize with somebody that's competing on it. And then everybody in the fucking game thinks, oh, it's Group Iron Man. Everyone just plays with their friends on the same accounts. They'll just, flip flop and, but we're not competing. We're just playing the game. But then, like, at what point do you stop, or what point is it competing? Because now all of a sudden, this account that's being played by 4 people now has rank 1 bandos or rank 1 something. It's like, oh, well, that's not competing because that was just a boss. Or like where the fuck do you draw the line?
Yeah, exactly.
And I get bothered because me personally, I would wish if all account sharing was banned, and if you account share, you're banned. But there's a plethora of situations where it does not matter. Like your little Timmy and little Jimmy are playing. You're chopping yew trees, and one of them plays on the other. I don't give a fuck. In fact, I generally don't give a fuck about any of this because it's not affecting me. But I can see a time where it does start affecting me.
Yeah, 100%.
So I am very like aware of what's happening, and it's bothering me because there's no stance being taken at all. And if you're not gonna make a clear stance and you're not gonna enforce stuff, just say then account sharing is fully legal. So then I can fucking quit this game because I'm not gonna fucking compete. I'm not gonna. No. I would still keep playing, but like at least I can't blame you guys anymore. Like I'd be pissed off, selfishly, but like
That's I completely agree. Like the question is where to draw the line, and once that answer's been found of where to draw the line, fucking draw it very clearly. Make it a massive fucking line so everyone can see it. Don't be so fucking ambiguous with the rule. Like, hey, you can't account share, but we've never actually banned anyone for it. So, but if you're going to do it, don't compete. And it's like, well, fucking, all right, is rank 2 not competing because I'm not rank 1? Like, what number?
Exactly.
Give me
Is top
an exact
1,000?
line.
Is top 100? Top 50?
Yeah.
Like, in what? In like boss and skills and yeah, it's weird.
And yeah, now there's so many different high scores as well for all the bosses. It's just like, yeah, dude, it's absolutely nuts. And like personally for me, like I've account shared before. I have an alt account that my manager PK's on, you know, because he doesn't have time to make a RuneScape account. I'm like, here, just use my alt account.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of it for me. But I
don't care about that stuff because
I don't give a fuck. Like if you want to share your account, fair enough. I'm not competing for ranks. I don't give a fuck. But then I also empathize with people that are competing for ranks. Like the Elfie, DVS, Alkin, and who's the other one? Zulu.
Yeah, Zulu.
Their team was like competing for rank 1 in Group Ironman with another team that is like account sharing. And still, I think Alfie's going for like first to max a Group Ironman, and the guy that's in second place is account sharing. It's just like, where do you draw the line? Like, it's just,
I know it's just like it's not ever on the surface of my mind of thinking about that, but I know it'll be an issue. And I just bring up real quickly, like I love clue scrolls, and I'm rank 2 hards for or rank 2 for hard clue scrolls as an Iron Man, and like rank 2 for elites, and then but nobody really cares, you know. It's just for fun, and it's just like I care because I do a lot of them, and I would like to show off that I'm rank 2, but I'm not like end all be all. I need to keep my fucking ranks. But if some random account started being played on by 4 people to go for rank 1 hards, and like or just started doing clue scrolls, but nobody actually gives a fuck except for me. You know, because nobody would care about that except the people that are kind of care.
Yeah.
I would just be fucking pissed. I'd be furious. Like, ban them. But, you know, nobody cares. So, anyway.
Listen, Sada, I'd be furious for you, mate, if that happened. I'd be on your side.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
I just want to quickly touch on something you mentioned before. You know, you said, like, if they said account sharing was fine, you'd quit the game. And then, you know, obviously it was a joke.
Yeah.
I used to hear all the time when they were talking about bringing in microtransactions, and people always say, if they ever brought microtransactions in, I would quit. And I used to just sit there thinking, would you though? Would you actually quit the game? Like, when was the last time you didn't play RuneScape? You know, like you've been playing this game for fucking a decade. Are you really gonna quit? Like, do you think there would actually be like
a mass exodus,
a max? Yeah, exactly. If they brought in microtransactions.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't think there would be. I think everyone would mainly stay. The people that are already on the fence would probably leave, but like they would have left it anyway. But Jagex like won't do it for old school, and part of that is because there has been in RuneScape's history a mass exodus where everyone's just ditched. And so even though that wouldn't happen now, most likely, and just in my, you know, that's my theory, is I don't think many people would leave if it was just a small microtransaction, but they know that it has happened, and that they can't risk that.
That's scary. They've got the numbers, they've got the analytics. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think many people would leave at all. I think it's sort of just everyone just says they're going to do it, and in the hopes that it won't happen. But I personally think that one day it will happen. You know, I think eventually there's going to be a big enough of a drop off in the player base just naturally that the company will go, well, shit, we got to make our money from somewhere now. Like,
we're just going to go all out.
Let's just do it. And like, you know, obviously them bringing the microtransactions to RS3 has made a massive difference. Like, they make a lot of money over there just from those. So they obviously have the analytics from that game to show that, like, hey, you know what? Like, we've lost, you know, 20, 30,000 players concurrently. We're not doing well. Let's bring some microtransactions in, and we know that even if we lose 90% of the fucking player base, we're still going to be making more money than we were before.
Dude,
you know?
It is such a sad thing for gamers that, like, it was all because of mobile gaming, I feel like, where microtransactions started becoming a real big thing. You got kids on the App Store that'll just fucking buy whatever with their parents' money. Like, and it just became this thing where, like, damn, everyone started doing it. And to be fair, if I was like an app store developer and I just made some stupid game and they're like, okay, you can make $10,000 if you just make it a really fun game and charge it at $1. Or if you add a bag of gems in that game for $99.99, you will make $3 million in the first month. I'd be like, all right, well, I don't fucking care about integrity anymore. I'm taking the money. Like,
100%.
So I gotta give a shout out to Old School. Clearly, there already are microtransactions with bonds, but it's like the best form that could have possibly ever
100%.
come into the game.
Oh, bonds are amazing. Like, I have literally never spent real money on membership. Not once,
like,
not a single time.
It is like the best form of microtransaction because there will be people that are buying them all the time.
Yeah,
but then
100%.
It benefits the people that are against them because now you don't even need to pay a dime to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. But no. I wonder what it would have been like for the first game that brought in microtransactions. Like, how nerve-wracking would that have been for the company? Like, damn, is this going to be like scary? I remember like back when I was smaller on YouTube and I took my first sponsor, and I was so scared. I was so fucking scared as to what would happen to take this sponsor because I was making money and people had to watch this ad in the middle of my video. And I was so terrified to do it. And to be fair, like, I got a pretty bad reaction from it. But then I was like, damn, like, I just did no work and now there's money in my bank account. Like, we take those, you know what I mean?
Wait, really? So you actually had a negative response from your audience?
Yeah. So I was one of the first, if not the first, RuneScape creator to take a sponsor from everyone's favorite mobile game, which I won't mention.
Unless you're paid.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember they hit me up and they said, do you want to do this ad? We'll give you $200 for this ad. And I really didn't want to do the ad because it was a mobile game and I was like, I don't actually play it. And then I said, I'm just going to make a joke. I'm definitely not doing this ad. I'm just going to say, I want $1,000 for it. Yeah. And they agreed.
Jesus
and I said,
Christ.
Wait, hang on a fucking minute. This is a joke, right? Like, what? You're kidding me? $1,000. And then I was like, I remember I was talking to Link Sock Arena at the time. I said, Jack, I was like, dude, they actually agreed to this deal. And he was like, if you don't do that, I'm going to fly over there and fucking kick you in the head. Like, that is you're stupid not to.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it, dude. Yeah, go for it. And I was like one of the first, if not the first. And dude, my comment section was like,
oh damn.
The video just got absolutely destroyed. It was like a 50% dislike ratio.
Jesus.
And then I sort of just come out in my next video and I was like, guys, like, listen, like, you might not have liked the ad, but if you like me, just know that paid my fucking rent for 2 months. Like,
yeah,
you might not like the ad, but if you like me, you should like the fact that I'm getting these ads. And then that got a good reaction. And then all of a sudden you just start seeing more and more people do it. And once more and more people do it, it becomes more normal. And now I don't hear a fucking word about it. You know what I mean? But so, like, I know how scary it was for me to do that for the first time. I'm just thinking, like, imagine the first game company that put in microtransactions. Like, they sort of built the path for, like, more people to come in and do it, but they must have been so fucking scared to do it the first time, you know?
Yeah, just the reactions. See, that's really interesting because whenever I've asked, because I've had a few sponsorships from, like, stream, nothing on YouTube, but, like, I'll literally ask my audience, like, are you guys okay with this? Because if you guys aren't okay with it, I just won't do it. But they're always like, oh, just do it. So it's weird.
100%.
So I just don't understand because that must have just been so early at the time to see that. But nowadays, everyone's just cool with it. Like, just do it.
Well, the thing I found was mostly, like, the negative reaction I got was not from regular viewers. Like, all the people that were, like, actual proper fans of the channel that constantly came around, like, used to come around the streams and stuff like that, they're all just like, yeah, dude, like, get your bag, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, at the end of the day, like, as much as I enjoy making YouTube videos and, not so much playing RuneScape anymore, but, sometimes, it is, at the end of the day, it's a business, and you got to make money. And if I can't chuck these sponsors off my videos and I can't pay my rent and pay editors and get graphics done and shit like that, like, I can't do it anymore. It's like, sometimes it just has to be done.
Let me ask about, like, what was your worst sponsorship situation? And your best, maybe.
Sponsorship situation.
Because I feel like people do like listening to this. I had Solo Mission on, and he went into like a little bit of detail with it. Not like crazy, but it was just interesting because like a lot of people don't know what a YouTube, like a full-time YouTuber, like what the situation is going on there.
Yeah. So like mine's honestly not that bad. I know Solo Mission's worst one. I was there when it happened. Poor fucking guy. But the worst one I had was like early days. I got basically ripped off. That mobile sponsor was technically my second one, but I got ripped off. Now that I know how much I'm supposed to be paid by my first sponsor, I got offered $100 for the sponsorship. I was super excited about it. I did it and, got paid the $100. And looking back, even though I said to that mobile game $1,000 and they instantly agreed to it, that's the kind of money that I should have been looking at. And the company that first sponsored me definitely knew that. So when I came back to them and said, I want a bit more, and I didn't even ask for much more. I said I wanted $300. They're like, no. And then I know for a fact, like they went around to a bunch of other RuneScape creators and essentially ripped them off too.
God.
And it happens so much, and that's why I'm super thankful at the moment. Signed with Crusader Talent, Mason over there. He's an absolute legend. He hit me up a few years ago, and we jumped in a meeting and. I signed to him, and shout out to him and Brooke and Sky over there. They've really, really hooked it up. And it's just like, once you know how much like a view on YouTube is worth, you sit back and think, holy fuck. Like back in the day, like there's so many people getting absolutely ripped off by these big companies. And that's what they'll do. They'll go around and like find people that have no idea what they're talking about and essentially get insane deals for the company that the creators essentially get jibbed. But that's honestly, I haven't had too many bad situations. I've had a few companies that have not paid. But once again, shout out Mason. He always sorts it out. That man knows his legal talk, so he can get that sorted out for you. But yeah, a couple that haven't paid that eventually got sorted out, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
it's Solo Mission story.
It's crazy because it's weird when you start to understand your worth and like how much you're really worth. Because I mean, like I had done a little. I won't name names, but like I took a sponsorship one time. It was early, and it was just like sponsorship was just all commission. Just you get a sale, you get this. I'm like. Okay, first of all, I will tell every creator right now, never take those. Just don't.
Never, ever, ever. Yeah.
Just
I'm
never.
So with you on that.
You don't want to become a company's fucking salesman. Like, and so, yeah, like, never take those. But I always thought, like, oh, that's cool. Like, as long as somebody gets something, like, I'll get free money for doing nothing. But, you want to be paid guaranteed. And it was crazy. Those mobile games, and that's when I started to understand how potent microtransactions are and how much money they're making. Because I'm like, there is no fucking way that you're paying me $2,000 to stream to 40 people your game, your game. Like,
100%.
There's no possible way this is like real. Like, and in fact, like the first time, like I got one of those, I could not believe it, and I did the same thing as you. Where you just ask for a little bit more, insta agree. It's almost like it's almost like pre-moving. I'm thinking of chess right now because I just played around, but like there's a way to fucking pre-move. You know what the person's gonna do, and you're just insta accept. Like, god damn, okay, 100%. Like I should have raised it up 3 times.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, and like honestly, like the sponsorships make up, like for me personally, the sponsorships are like more than 50% of my income. And,
it's nuts.
It's like it's just insane once you realize how much they're actually worth. And like once again, like it's so nice having Mason like my manager sort all that out for me, because basically cool. I used to have to negotiate for myself, and now he will just say, hey, this company is offering this much money, do you want it? And I know that he's done all the negotiations in the back end to get me the best deal possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so in the early days of when I signed with him, I always said, I want to be involved in all the email chains. I want to know what you're saying to these companies. Like, I was a bit skeptical signing into it. And then, after a couple of months, and I saw that he was just going hard in the paint. Like there was one time I had a sponsorship. It was like $1,750, and we'd done it like 6 or 7 times over the past year. And then they came back and they said, "Oh, we want to renegotiate. We'll offer you $1,250." And Mason just turned around and said, "Actually, we were going to renegotiate and ask for $2,000. So I don't think it's going to work. Thank you for your business." And they said, "Okay, we'll do $2,000." And I was like,
Oh my God.
I was like, "Oh my God." Like, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And it's because they know, like, I just imagine myself, and I don't know the ins and outs of this stuff, but clearly it's all about exposure. Just keep fucking nailing the ads. Like Raid Shadow Legends. I know we weren't supposed to mention that, but like they for years just ingrain it in you. Like that is like seriously, if somebody were to just say name a game real quick, I don't even think I would say RuneScape. I think I'd say Raid Shadow Legends. It's just like
honestly, yeah.
It's just like you hear it so much more. It's just like damn.
And that's the thing, like they have spent so much money.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Insane amounts of money over the past few years, making sure that every single person in the world has fucking heard about it.
Yep.
And now they can cut back. They've spent a lot of money getting their name out of there. They're probably running at a loss. And now that they've got like probably a fucking huge player base of just whales that spend thousands of dollars on microtransactions.
See, I don't even think it was ever at a loss. I think they've always been profiting. And I mean,
you're probably right. Think
about like the Super Bowl. You pay, what is it, like fucking $10 million for 30 seconds on the Super Bowl? Like, Jesus, like, but you know it's worth it because people do it, and that's literally the 100%. Price. And that's like, damn, that really starts putting things into perspective.
And like, how many people watch the Super Bowl? Like, what's the?
I have no idea. It is just
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Go
Super Bowl viewership. So they pay what, $10 million for a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl?
I'm guessing. I think it was like that.
And that gets what, 200 million views? Or they could pay a RuneScape YouTuber $2,000 and get 100,000 views out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it makes like so many more companies have started investing into like advertising on YouTube
and influencers and stuff.
Yeah, compared to mainstream media, it's just like they get a lot more out of it because if you do like a Super Bowl ad, it's just there, it's on people's TV. Yeah. Whereas if you do,
you can go to like really niche audiences. Like, if I were to ever advertise for myself for some reason, there's no way I'd ever do like a TV or a billboard. Like, fuck that. I'm going straight to the source, like just the niche.
100%.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like if you see your favorite YouTuber talk about buying this ball trimmer, you're like, damn, like this guy that I really like uses that ball trimmer. I fucking really want that ball trimmer. You know what I mean?
You know what's so funny is like just how just humans are. Like humans are totally like that. And there's no way to like even like divert from it because of just how much I know I'm going pretty deep with this, but just how much evolution has to play with just who we are as human beings. Like you can't change yourself like completely because you're literally like, biologically a human that's evolved over like how many goddamn years. And it's funny how humans work where it's like, oh, this guy that I like uses this, and it's probably something you would never want to use, but it's like, oh, I like that guy, so I'm gonna get it.
100%. And like it works in so many different ways. Like for instance, like you're so much more likely to start acting like people that you enjoy the company of. Like I hang out with Skidler a lot. He's one of my best friends. I love the guy to death. And I will just find myself using English slang. I'm an Australian man and I say things like, that girl was piff, she's a langers. And like, it's just because I hang out with him and I hear him say these things and I'm like, I like you. I like that, it's just, it just becomes part of your vocabulary.
And you know what's really fucking annoying is when somebody calls you out on that. I'm just like, fuck yourself, dude. Like I can say whatever the fuck I want. And if I want to like imitate this guy in a way or just like kind of like have his, they come naturally. First of all, it's not like really a choice. Like I think of, I don't know if you've ever watched Fat Clouds.
No, I haven't. I have heard of him though. Yeah.
He's mellowed out big time ever since Partner, but damn, he was going crazy to get Partner. He would just do anything,
Yep.
And, he's such a bold character that he would start saying stuff and like you just kind of copy it. It's the same thing with Odablock. Like people start saying everything with a Z because he's just such a character that people start just imitating, like, just, and it's not imitating in a negative sense at all, but it's like, it's inevitable that you're going to start talking like people that you watch a lot or you hang out with a lot. Like,
for sure. And like, oh man, that shit is everywhere these days. And I see a lot of like other creators like really get pissed off at him when like his fans will come into their chat speaking like him, and it's like, it's like, dude, like, it's not him. He's not sending people to your chat to say brother man. Like, it's just they enjoy watching him. It is what it is.
Yep. And it really makes me like, I firsthand know, because I mean, we all talk. I'm gonna break this down kind of deep, but the way you talk is because of the way you live. Like, you don't just talk the way you talk. Like, everything has environmental influences, like wherever you know. And so I would never get pissed off at somebody for speaking in a way, but I always kind of get annoyed when I'm in a Twitch chat and somebody is kind of, you can kind of tell they're imitating something, and then somebody will call them out. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just, it's just like rude. It's like, clearly they know they're kind of imitating, but it's like, don't need to, I don't know.
Let the man have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're enjoying themselves. Like, that's fine. Yeah. But I mean, Twitch chat can be like that, dude. Twitch chat can be like
Twitch
that.
Chat's weird.
There's not a whole lot you can do about it. I had a bit of a beef with Odablock actually back after the last Battle Royale, which was entirely orchestrated by someone in the Twitch chat. I just got absolutely done by this guy. He asked the question, why would I ever invite Oda to a Battle Royale? And, I had a few choice words. I said that he's not really my style of, content creator. It's not something that I enjoy watching. It's not something that, I'm not particularly fond of his vocabulary and the way he says things. And then I go on to say, but like, he's obviously a very entertaining streamer. Like, no shit. He's super successful. Lots of people enjoy watching him. And I've got nothing but respect for him. But personally, I just wouldn't invite him. And the guy that asked the question clipped only the part where I had negative things to say about him and sent it to him.
Jesus Christ.
To which, like, fair play to him. The poor guy only saw a video of me flaming him essentially for no reason. And then he made a video on it and, had a few choice words to say about me. And I would have done the exact same fucking thing if I was in his position.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, I've got fucking 12-year-old kids in my DMs telling me to kill myself.
So
and I'm like, wait, what the fuck has happened here, Yeah. And then, that just blew so far out of proportion to the point where I had to block the word Oda and Odablock in my comment section on YouTube just because it was just every video and like,
I am sorry. Like, that actually sounds miserable, dude. Like,
end of the day, dude. You know what? I said some negative things about a creator that I didn't really have anything to do with. I didn't have to say anything bad at all. I didn't have to answer the guy's question. Could have kept it to myself. And like, nothing against Odablock at all. Like, if I was in his position, I would have done the exact same fucking thing. Like, and he I think he's pretty funny. Like, he said some funny shit in his response, but I'd still stand by what I said.
Yeah, and he's clearly not for everyone.
Exactly,
as a content creator, and he knows that. Everyone knows that. Like, so it's 100%. Weird to just like causing drama. Like, what the fuck is
that's
wrong with
exactly right. RuneScape drama. It's always the best, man. It's always the best. And let me tell you, I've been caught up in a few bits of RuneScape drama over my time.
You know what? I want to talk about it now because I see some topics and I remember the video and I know you know what I'm about to say. So
I do.
Wolves asks, how does one get so tilted that you sit down and record yourself flaming, fuck the high level community, fuck every single one of you? God, that clip is so good.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out Walls. Really don't like that guy. He's had nothing nice to say about me ever. So fuck you. But I will Dude, every time I see that dude in a Twitch chat, he's just like, EVScape, Dan's game. What the fuck is wrong with that guy? I'm like, bro, I've never even met you. Like, I have no fucking clue who you are. Please leave me alone.
No,
Like,
you would love, and I could flame Wolves all I want because like he'll get banned in like I'm thinking like a year ago, like he'll start saying some shit in Coxie's stream and just get bans. It's all fun and games. Yeah. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So that all came about. I've always had a problem with like the elitists of the game that are just like, this is the way you should play. If you're not doing this, you suck. You should be 3 ticking that granite. You should be fucking 2 ticking those ticks. Like, why are you not doing this? You need to have maximum DPS. Like, that always pissed me off because it's like the whole enjoyment out of the game is just like discovering things and just playing how you want, just like having fun. And so I always had a problem with the high level community because that's where you get a lot of those players that are just super elitist, do everything the best way possible or don't do it all kind of guys. And there was one night I was streaming, and as all terrible things start, I was white intoxicated on my live stream, and I was at Smoke Devils, and this guy crashed me. A man who I know is not Australian came into an Australian world to crash. I was meleeing Smoke Devils. That's how much I was enjoying the game. And he came in, put his cannon down, and said hop or something like that. I know this guy. I'm decent friends with him now. I think he's pretty funny, but I just remember at the time I'd seen nothing but him complaining about the video game on Twitter and complaining about XP rates, and I just thought, fuck, it's just one of these guys. And I just went on a tirade, bro. I have never seen the video of what I said. I refused. I was so embarrassed about it the next day. I was like, I'm never going to watch it, but I'm going to fucking own it. Because I know I said some dumb shit. But if I wake up and go, oh, fuck, sorry I said that, guys, blah, blah, blah. Like, I meant it. I know I meant what I said, and I still feel that way. Yeah. So I'm just going to fucking own it. I was like, fuck it. Fuck the high-level community, dude. Fuck a lot of them. But, like, I mean, there's so many people in the high-level community that I adore. There's so many great people in the high-level community. It's just like we were speaking about before. Every community's got a bunch of people that make them all look bad. And, I just had a bad experience with a bunch of bad people from the high-level community, and I'd never really got to meet the good ones. And I just sort of generalized the whole community of people. And next thing you know, that was it. It was me versus the high-level community for years.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that. I mean, I just thought it was like, I don't know what I thought initially. I just thought it was like banter. Just talk. Because like you would hear the same fucking thing with, anybody that got crossed by a certain level. Like if I got fucking harassed by a PK, I'd be like, fuck PK. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I'd just be so like just bitter about it. I know I always bring up that. I do, listen, I'm just a disclaimer. I want what's best for PvP. I really do care about PvP in the game, and I know it's an essential part. But goddamn, if you want PvP to thrive, you can. And again, I'm not trying to generalize, but just the people that it's just like, you want the wilderness to thrive and be great, like kill people. That's cool in the game, but don't be a total fucking asshole afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and there's tons of PKers that are really respectable and do that. Like just. They do their thing, they're out in the wilderness having a good time, and it's just all fun and games. So anyway,
100%.
But yeah, I remember hearing that video, and I was like, well, he must have gotten crossed by somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it then. It was just like kind of like events led up to that moment where you were just plastered and you just
pretty much. And like, you know what? I've heard some of the things that I said, and I just look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I say that? There was one part where I was just like, fuck anybody who pays for their membership with bonds. And I'm like, I've only ever done that. Like, what? And then, I had to sort of like go back through my thought process and figure out what the fuck I was trying to say. And like, my whole premise behind that was like, the people that are complaining about the video game are the same people that have never spent any money on it. That was my whole thing. It's just like, if you're going to whinge about the video game, but then pay for your membership with bonds, instead of paying for the actual game, like shut the fuck up. The people, you've spent no money on it and you want to sit here and control the way that it goes. Like,
Interesting.
You can't even say, well, stop fucking spending money on it, because they don't. It's just like,
no, literally.
no, it was end of the day, it was. I look back, it's fucking funny, and like I said, there's a lot of people from the high level community that I'm good friends with now, and like we all laugh about it. And like the people that I did know from the high level community prior to that, all knew exactly what I was fucking talking about, like you know, and that were all chill with it. But yeah, I just ever since then, like, there's just been a small group of the high level community that I still just fucking absolutely despise, and they absolutely despise me, and it's just been an ongoing war. And
and I firsthand have people that absolutely fucking hate me in the high level community, and I mean they'll find any opportunity to like harass and just be a total fucking prick, and you know, like at the end of the day, I mean, I know somebody mentioned in the thread, like, you have like half the HLC blocked. I probably fucking have like a quarter of the HLC blocked because I can't fucking stand them. Like, some people I just can't stand. And it's not because like I can't stand them. It's like they'll wrong me. And instead of me like retaliating and all, it's just like, no, I'm just not even going to fucking hear what you have to say anymore, because
100%.
it's not worth it. And
there was there was one point where I went on a massive blocking spree. Sorry to interject.
You're totally good.
I made a video about TOB purples, and you know, to be fair, the math that I did in the video wasn't wrong, but it was useless. No one would ever fucking do it, and I made it out to be a very, very insane method. Clickbait, obviously, you got to do it on YouTube, and the high level community really didn't like that one, and you know, there was a bit of a Twitter back and forth, and got into it with a few of them, and I just sat there and just went, all of these fucking people that I'm like interacting with on Twitter, I've never ever seen them say anything positive. I go through their tweets and replies, and it's just all negative shit. The one correlation I found was they all had their total level in their fucking bio, and they all had an anime profile picture. So every single time I would see one of them pop up on my timeline, it was an insta block. Even if I'd never had an interaction with them in my entire life, I just went, if I'm ever going to have an interaction, I know it's going to be negative. So just hit the insta block. I don't need that shit. You know what I mean? So
that's fair. I really do try to keep it to a case by case basis. And you know,
fair enough.
Again, in your situation, you know, I have a different situation, but for me, it's like, if I ever see a person that's just always being negative, and I just click on their profile real quick, just see kind of what's going on in their tweet, I'll just block them. If it's just, if the first few things I see are just negative stuff, because like, I don't want my experience on Twitter, because it's not like I didn't even have a Twitter before I started doing RuneScape Twitter, but RuneScape Twitter feels pretty essential at this point. It's just a good business move, but I'm not going to ruin my day by keeping you guys on my timeline. So if I ever see anything, I just insta block. If anybody retweets just straight up porn, I just fucking block them. I just, and it's not like, of course I want to see fucking tits, but I can't have it on my goddamn timeline. Like, sometimes I pull up my timeline on my stream. Like,
exactly.
Like, I'm just warning everybody, if you ever post anything, it's like, I've blocked a lot of people. If you want to be unblocked, like, I don't even know how you DM me at this point because you're blocked. But
dude, I mean, that means you're gonna end up blocking me when I drop my OnlyFans. What the hell?
I mean, if it's your OnlyFans, it's a business thing, so it's like a little bit. No, but I mean that really is the things that are being retweeted. It's just OnlyFans, like, you know, shit. And I'm like, cool, but you know, I don't want to see it. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. OnlyFans is fucking wild, dude. I'm genuinely dropping one. Like, I'm actually gonna get into it.
Like, actually.
Like, actually, yeah, I've been saying this since OnlyFans became a large thing. I said that the second I have visible abs, you know, once my body is actually marketable, I'm dropping an OnlyFans. Like, I'm just gonna fucking do it, because, like, dude, if I can take a picture of like my bare ass wearing some like chaps or something like that, some arseless chaps, and make like a fucking bag, yeah, I'm doing that shit, dude. Like, I've got a good ass. You know?
So I always think, okay, so you remember when OnlyFans got rid briefly of the porn? They just said, you know, none of that. That had to have been a publicity stunt, right? Or did they genuinely think? Because
dude.
they not instantly, but I don't know how long the period was. But then they reverted it, and I swear to God, it just got everyone talking about OnlyFans.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Like
What
you have to think like, you know, people are just saying like, damn, that's a big blunder. Like they really fucked up doing that. But at the end of the day, like there might be just like a fucking team of people in a boardroom sat around a table, and then just like fucking
Just
Kelly
theory.
gets up and goes,
Like,
yo, listen guys, I've got it. Let's take the porn away for a day. And then Gary's in the corner like, no. Like, hang on. And Kelly's like, bear with me. We take it away for a day, and then we backpedal. Everyone's fucking talking about it. And then everyone's like, damn, Kelly, like you make a fucking good point. Like, is that actually happening behind the scenes? Or
Dude,
did they genuinely just fuck up? Like,
that has to be, because there are smart fucking people out there. And
yeah.
I don't know the numbers and stuff, but I will say when that started happening, it was all over everywhere talking about OnlyFans.
It's true.
And everyone was talking about it. And then everyone had talked about the reverse decision as well. So it's just like double. I don't know, because I don't think they ever actually got rid of any porn. It was just like, we will end it by this period.
Yeah,
that's what makes
true.
it even seem more like a publicity stunt, because it was like they didn't actually do anything immediately. They just like were milking it. So I don't know. It's weird.
It's crazy, dude. Like something similar happened over here in Australia. We have this chocolate milk company called Big M, and they changed the flavor of their chocolate milk, and everyone was outraged. They're like, this is fucking disgusting. This is gross. But then there was like a small group of people that were like, oh, it's like still good. It's still chocolate milk. I'm still enjoying this. And after like a month, they just went, oh, we're actually going to bring out the original again. So you can pick between the two. And it's like, did they really fuck up? Did they think that it was like a great idea to change the flavor and then backpedal? Or was this a plan the whole time? Because shortly after that, we have another company called Arnott's that makes these fucking biscuits called Shapes. And they changed the flavor of their nacho cheese biscuits, and everyone was fucking outraged. And then they changed them back. And I'm like, it can't be a coincidence, dude.
I wonder if there's like actually research done with companies that fuck up, but get a bunch of publicity from it and then revert it.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be something to that.
There's got to be something. And like, there's so many different fucking things that happen in the industries that you would have no idea about. Like, I was reading once that Colgate, that make toothpaste, changed the diameter of the hole at the end of the toothpaste tube, increased it by 20%, and didn't tell anyone, so that people would use 20% more toothpaste when they brush their teeth. And their sales increased by like fucking 17% over the course of the year that they did it. And like, no one noticed, no one said anything. And it's just like, shit like this. Shit like that is actually fucking happening with big companies. So like, it honestly would not surprise me if OnlyFans did that as a publicity stunt.
Yeah, it's interesting how much. I mean, yeah, just it's like the saying, any publicity is good publicity.
Any publicity is good publicity unless you get really drunk and say fuck the high level community. In which case, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, but okay, let me just going back to that briefly. I mean, what was the effect? Did you see any like? I mean, clearly there was an effect. You already told us that, like, your YouTube comments were filling up and shit. But like, was there anything positive from it? I guess I'll ask. Or was there just like, literally nothing relevant?
I suppose now, like, the positive coming out of it, it's a big meme. Like, everyone knows I'm that guy. Like, fuck the high level community. The picture gets thrown around a fair bit, and like, it's a wouldn't say a big saying, but it's definitely a saying within the RuneScape community.
Yeah.
Fuck the high level community. People know it. But like, in terms of, was it a net positive? Like, no. I think like the backlash that I got from doing it originally sort of like cascaded to the point where like my views were down. I was getting a lot of negative comments. Like, it really affected my mental health. Like, a lot of shit along those lines. It's like, now, yes, it's a good meme. It's funny. I would
enough
say
time
right
has passed.
now,
Nobody really, yeah.
But in terms of like, yep, we've got the positive now, but if that never happened, would I have gained more over that period where it was bad? Yeah, I definitely would have. So I would say it's definitely not a net positive. So I mean, enough time has passed.
It must be then a strategic thing then, because I mean, clearly you were drunk and you did something, and like most of the time when people are intoxicated, nothing really good comes from that if you're going to be in the public eye. But like, I guess good or any publicity is good publicity would only work if you're like clearly kind of know what you're doing, not just making straight up mistakes.
Exactly, yeah. If you're not just fucking absolutely plastered on a live stream one day and sit down and, like we were saying, like there's a board meeting and someone's saying, let's do this thing that would really fuck us up and then backpedal. Like I honestly think that is something that happens a lot. I think there's a lot of things that go on within like certain industries where you think, damn, that company's really fucked up. And then all of a sudden, everyone's talking about it,
Yep.
So,
right.
Then like on the contrary, it's like there's probably also been times where people have tried to pull a publicity stunt and it's just completely backfired. They've just completely fucked their whole business,
Yeah. So yeah, that can't just be 100% correct. You always hear about like any publicity is good publicity, but clearly it's not.
Yeah. To an extent. I think actually,
yes.
You know what? I used to talk about this a lot actually. I think any publicity is good publicity until you reach a certain degree of popularity, in which case like negative publicity is not going to help you in any way.
Yeah.
So like negative publicity can really get your name out there as you're coming up. But once you're like popular enough, like then it's only negative.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of certain situations I've seen, like small streamers just do something stupid and it just blows up on Behemoth, it blows up on Reddit or something. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, is there a silver lining behind it? Because sometimes like maybe it's a hot take or just some stupid thing they did, but it's like some people might have, I don't know, enjoyed it. And so you actually build up somewhat of an audience. But yeah, the amount that you would lose maybe is. So when you're growing, I guess initially it's probably better.
Yeah, just on that like whole, some people might enjoy it. Like it doesn't matter how ridiculous of an opinion you have on something, how fucking stupid or bigoted or racist or homophobic you are guaranteed on the internet to find someone that agrees with you. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's awful.
It's crazy, dude, which sucks because then sometimes you get these people that like have built up like this small community on stream that just say like the most ridiculous shit and they think that everyone agrees with them because the people that are in their stream fucking agree with them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so it can be bad. It can definitely be bad. But
here's a good question from Nine Rain.
Okay.
It's a little deep, I guess, but he says,
shout out Nine Rain.
What was the best day of your life and what was the worst? And then he asks, what do you imagine doing 5 years from now?
Okay. I know for sure the best day of my life. It's quite a long story, but I love telling a story. It was on my 21st birthday. I had a party out in the middle of nowhere. We hired a hall. I had all my friends out there, and then I booked a bus for everyone, like a party bus, to go into the city that night. And my best friend since high school, shout out Andrew, his birthday is the day before mine. So we celebrate our birthday together and we go into the city. And that night, my favorite DJ of all time was playing Will Sparks at a club called Cloud9. And we get to the line. He's supposed to be playing at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's 11:30 when we get there. And we jump in the line and it's around the corner. It's the biggest line I've ever seen in my entire life. And the security guard comes around and says, just letting you guys know, it's going to be 2.5 hours before you get in. Like we're 1 in, 1 out, line's massive, just letting you know. And I was like, fuck, like he's supposed to start at 1 a.m. It's going to be 2.5 hours. We're going to miss the whole set anyway. Eesh. And all of my friends were like, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go to another club. And I looked at Andrew and he's like, I'm staying. And I was like, what? He's like, came here to see fucking Will Sparks. I'm staying. I was like, Andrew, literally every other person is leaving. Like no one is staying with you. You'll be by yourself. He's like, I don't give a fuck, man. It's my birthday. I want to stay. And I was like, all right, man. Like, fair enough. Like I would stay with you, but like, it's my birthday too. I want to enjoy my night. I want to go to this other club. He's like, yeah, that's cool, man. Like no stress. So I take off with my friends. We go to this other club, like a couple blocks down the road. We get in and it's just not the same, dude. Not the same without Andy. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm just going to go home. Like I'm not having a good time. And I said to my other friend, Josh, I was like, yo, can you tell everyone I went to the toilet? I don't want everyone to think that I'm going home because I just want to fucking get out of there. I want a Houdini.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, all right. So I walk out the front of the club. I text Andrew. I was like, how's the line going? And he goes, I'm almost at the front. And I was like, no fucking way. So I put the foot falcons on and just start running, bro. I'm giving it absolute chegs straight down to the club. And as I get there, I see the back of Andrew's head walking into the club. I've just missed him by that much.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck it. I'm jumping in line. Fuck it. Like, I'm too excited now. That's got me gassed up. So I jump in the line, and this club was like notorious for not letting guys in unless they were accompanied by some young females, because they didn't want the ratio to get too bad. And I was by myself, and I was behind these two girls in line, and I said, hey girls, like, you know, not to be a fucking weirdo or anything, but today's my birthday. I don't think I'm going to get into the club by myself. Like, can you guys just say that you're with me? I'm not going to fucking follow you around the club or anything. I'm not a weirdo. I just want to get in. And they were like, yeah, fucking no stress. I was like, sweet. So, you know, I get to talking with these girls, like, a bit back and forth. And then we get close to the front of the line, and these girls like yell out to these dudes that are like sat on the side of the road. And they're like, oh shit, they come over and they jump in the line. Like, they know them. It's like, cool, whatever. Like, how we doing, fellas? And then we get up to the front, and the bouncer, like the security guard, he goes, all right, just you four? And I'm at the back, and I'm like, five. And he doesn't hear me.
Oh, no.
And the girls go, yeah, just us four.
No.
Like, these bitches, dude. These motherfuckers.
Fuck.
And she goes, yeah, just us four. And the security guard goes, right, get the fuck out of here then. And they're like, what? He was like, we just kicked these two guys out of the club. That's why they were sat on the side of the road, and you're with them. You can all fuck off. So he kicks all of them out of the line. And I was like, holy shit. And I go up.
Oh.
He's like, ID. I give him my driver's license. And he looks at me and goes, oh, happy birthday, Jake. Have a good one. Lets me into the club. And I'm like,
what the fuck? Total instant karma.
So good. I pay my $20 at the door. I walk down into the basement of this club, Cloud9, and I look up, and there's Will Sparks. He's got no shirt off. He's 5 minutes into his set. He's got no shirt on. He's wearing his headphones over his eyes like a fucking Saiyan scouter. And he's on the microphone, and he just goes, we're just getting fucking started. And it just goes boom, 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 you know, pumping.
Damn.
And I was like, holy fuck. And I look across the dance floor. I swear to God, Andrew's over the other side of the dance floor. He makes eye contact with me, and we just nod at each other and meet up in the middle. We push to the front of the stage. I touch Will Sparks' nipple. Super exciting time. Best fucking night of my entire life. It was absolutely unreal. And
let's fucking go.
We both say like that was the best night of our life. And then that night he ended up going home with his now fiance and mother of his child. That was the first night that they'd spent together. And on my way out of the club, I ran into all of my friends that were at the other club. So we ended up going home together. Like, it was just great. It was just perfect. Everything just worked out for the best. So,
damn.
Yeah, that was the best day of my life.
That's fucking crazy. I just love that instant karma. Let's fucking go. Oh, that must have been so satisfying.
It was so good. And it's like, that's just something you can't fucking make up, dude. Like, that was just like, absolutely unreal. But yeah, that was the best day. And then like the worst day of my life, I honestly can't even remember, dude. Like, nothing has come to my mind where I'm just like, damn, that was a shit day. Like, I don't know. I think...
Yeah, if I had to think of a worst day, it would probably just be like somewhere in my childhood where I I shat myself at a water park one time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. I just sat, I literally shat myself in the fucking water. I just got out, went to the bathroom, and I just sat there. I didn't have a phone or anything. I'm just like, where's my family at? Like, I'm not going out with shit in my trunks.
Oh, yeah. No, nothing worse than shitting yourself, man. Let me tell you. And, like, I mean, I could tell a story of a bad day when I shat myself, but it was also quite funny, if you'd like.
Go for it.
All right. I was, it's sad that I shat myself because I was actually 23 years old at the time, but...
Wait. Let me ask first. Was it a combination of a laxative and a sleep pill?
In a way, yeah.
Because one other happened, but I'll just say that did happen to me in adulthood. But anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, well, I'm excited to hear that story after this one. Let me tell you,
it's short.
You're definitely going to be telling this.
We'll just say I took a NyQuil and then I took a laxative and I shat myself in the middle of the night and I was like, what the fuck? It was just it was like lava. and it was in college. But anyway, now you tell yours.
Oh, that's awful. All right, so it was my roommate's birthday. Shout out Marcus. He was also my landlord. And for his birthday, me and my friend Cody, we always drink a slab. That's the whole shtick. On Marcus's birthday, we drink a slab, which is 24 drinks in a box.
Wait, you drink all of them?
All of them in one day. We'll start drinking about 10 a.m. and then we'll kick on into the night. And the goal is to drink the whole slab. And like I'm 6 foot. I was about 100 kilos at the time. Cody's like 6 foot, like 120. Like we can put the drinks away. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was training for a half marathon. So I was trying to keep the calories to a minimum. You know, obviously as minimum as you can when you're drinking 24 drinks. So I had these things. I bought a whole slab of these things called sugar-free cruisers, which is like a vodka mixer with no sugar in it. And started drinking about 10 a.m., slammed a lot. And then we went out to the pub. I reckon had another 6 pints. Like, it was just dumb. Like these days, you would not catch me dead doing something stupid like this. Like there's just way too much alcohol, unnecessary. I was just young and stupid. And I black out, don't remember the night. But from what I heard, my partner at the time, my girlfriend, she took me home and I was so drunk that she would refuse to stay over. She just tucked me into bed and she went back to her house.
Damn.
And I woke up the next morning completely naked on the couch outside. And I was like, what the what the fuck am I doing out here? Like I got no blanket on. I'm outside, like on the couch. Like what the fuck is going on? So I get up, I walk back in the house and I walk to my room. I open up the door and I see why I am naked on the couch outside. And that's because there is literal shit all over my bedroom. Jesus, like it's all over my bed. It's all over my floor. And I'm like, holy fuck. I turn around to the kitchen and I don't know how I didn't notice it on my way back in. It's all over the kitchen as well. And I'm like, holy fuck.
And you don't remember any of this?
No, I'm completely blackout. Like absolutely none of this is in my mind. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I obviously did the only responsible thing you can do in that situation. And I went back out to the couch outside and went back to sleep for a couple hours because I was just fucking dead.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, so I wake up a couple hours later and I was like, okay, right, I need to start fucking sorting this out. So I call up my girlfriend.
Oh, God. Oh, hopefully
like,
she's oh, my God.
I said, I need you to come round and pick me up. We need to go down to like Kmart, which is like the Australian Walmart.
Yeah. We have Kmart's in Walmart, actually.
Oh,
or in Walmart, in America. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I was like, I need you to take me to Kmart so that I can buy some cleaning supplies because I've shit the house. And she was like, Jake, I'm not cleaning up your shit. And I was like, I would not expect you to. I just need you to drive me because there's no way I'm in any condition to drive right now.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, cool. I'll come around. And as I'm on the phone to her, my roommate / landlord, Marcus, comes outside. And mind you, I'm still completely naked on the couch with no blanket, like just cocks out everywhere. And he's like, how you feeling, buddy? And I was like, dude, I am so sorry. I was like, I am so sorry. And he was like, what for? And I was like, what do you mean, what for? I shit the house. And he poked his head back inside and then poked it back outside and was like, you fucking did. You literally shit my house. And I was like, I'm so sorry, dude.
Oh, my God.
And luckily, he found it funny. I had to throw out my mattress. One of my other buddies, James, was staying over that night. He said that he got home, saw that I was naked on the couch outside, left me there because he wanted to like use my bed. Saw there was shit all over my room, went, oh God. And then he said to me that he saw there was shit on my computer. So he cleaned my computer for me. And I was like, what? I was like, James, you fucking cleaned shit off my computer?
What the fuck were you doing that night? Dude, you're everywhere. Just shitting everywhere.
I know, man. So I was like, dude, I was like, why have you done that? He's like, bro, like that's how you make your money. Like you make your money online. Like I didn't want you to be out of a job. He's like, I know you do the same for me. And I had to look one of my best friends in the eye after he just told me he cleaned up my shit and tell him that I would absolutely fucking not clean up his shit if I was in the opposite situation.
Oh my
so anyway, God. Get everything cleaned up, throw my mattress out, everything's all good. And a couple of weeks later, I get all the boys together and I was like, boys, it's funny now. Like now it's funny. enough time has passed, but I just need to know which one of you motherfuckers put a laxative in my drink. You know, that's the only reasonable explanation. And they were all like, nah, dude, like, we would tell you, like, it's obviously funny now, like, none of us put a laxative in your drink. And I was like, this is fucked up. That means someone at the club has put a laxative in my drink, which, mind you, would be a fucking hilarious prank, but they don't even get to see the end result.
Yeah,
They've just done it to create chaos. Like, that is just nuts.
Yeah. What the?
So a couple weeks after that, I was telling my manager at work, I said, I shit the house. This is what happened. Told the whole story. And she said, Jake, the stuff they put in sugar-free things to make it taste sweet has a laxative effect if you consume too much.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh my God. So what I had essentially done, Seda, is I had spiked myself with a laxative by drinking 24 sugar-free cruises, and then spiked myself with a sleeping pill by getting paralytic drunk. And I've obviously just woken up, realized I'm shitting myself, tried to run through the house. Like, yeah, absolutely outraged. You know what? I'll go with that's the worst day of my life, but also one of the funniest.
Yeah, damn. That is aggressive. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of somebody shitting the house. You hear a person shit themselves or shit their pants. Yeah. You don't shit a house. You don't shit a fucking house. You don't shit a building. You don't shit like Jesus Christ. Dude.
Oh yeah, it was bad, dude. But I mean, at the same time, like me and my friends used to have not an actual competition where we were actively trying to win, but a competition to see who could do the most fucked up thing when they were drunk, which was prior to that held by one of my friends, Bianca. She pissed herself on a night out and then didn't have enough time to shower before she had to go to university to do one of her.
Dear God.
Yeah. So that was the previous most fucked up thing. And I remember I called her that morning and I was like, Bianca, guess what? She's like, what? I was like, I win. I've done the most fucked up thing that anyone's ever done when they were drunk. I was like, I shit the whole house. And her response was, I'm at a theme park with my family and you're on loudspeaker. And I was like, that's really added to it. Appreciate that, B. But yeah,
oh my God.
That's shitting yourself is not fun, Sada. Let me tell you.
Oh, it's awful. It's the worst. And I just did it it was like I was 20 or so and I just drank some NyQuil and then took a fucking laxative and you shit yourself and you don't even you wake yourself up by shitting that.
Yeah,
you're lying. Luckily, I was on my stomach with my head tilt to the side of the pillow.
Yeah.
And so it didn't really get everywhere. But if I was a back sleeper, you just sleep on your back. The mattress would have just been destroyed.
And it would just spread out, dude.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what was the thought process behind taking some NyQuil and then a laxative?
So I was extremely fucking sick. I just remember being sick as I don't fucking know. It's winter time and you just get sick and then you just feel uncontrollably cold. And then you go to the bathroom to almost try to throw up or shit or something just for some relief. And then you can't shit. So you're just sitting there on the toilet just shivering and you're like, okay, I need to take a laxative or something, find something. And so I just took some Miralax, that's what it's called. Miralax. Fuck that. No, but and then I was just taking my NyQuil because that was my medicine.
Right.
And so I just do it both. And I'm like, if I need to take a shit, I'll wake up from it. I didn't know we were just going to be passed out, But yeah, so for those, this is another life lesson. Do not take a laxative and a sleep pill. It is just not worth it.
I'm going to put that on the list of things that I should not do. That's it's going to be right up there.
Yeah. Oh my, it's bad.
I'm honestly glad I don't remember it because I can only imagine the panic that was going through my brain at that point. Oh my God, it would have been so scary. And it must have been a genuine power shit. The amount of places, the amount of places that it got that just made absolutely no sense. It was just damn. And all I could think was I am so fortunate that I was so drunk. My girlfriend decided to leave. Because if she had stayed I shit all over her,
that would have been it.
That would have been it for sure. What was the I've forgotten what the
Yeah,
last part
the
of
last
my main
question was what do you see what do you okay, let me say what he says. What does he imagine himself doing 5 years from now?
100% still doing YouTube. Fingers crossed, not RuneScape. If I'm still doing RuneScape YouTube in 5 years, something has gone horribly wrong. But yeah, I love doing YouTube. I'm really trying to get into the vlogs. Like that is something that I thoroughly enjoy and I know I will always enjoy because I'm simply just filming my life. You know what I mean?
You know, I will say just real briefly, when I clicked on your, so I subbed to your channel, and then I saw Jake Upton like vlogs or something, and I happened to just click on that first video, not for any particular reason. It might have just been a girl there, but I clicked, and honestly, it was fucking awesome. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I would skip through it. I'm like, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just you do have, something there, like.
Yeah, thank you, dude. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you mentioned the thumbnail. Shout out Maddie, that's my best friend in the entire world. And she
might have
always
just skipped
says,
the
like,
video to see where that portion of the video. I didn't want to go that far, but yeah.
She always says, like, Jake, you need to hurry up and get famous, because I always say, if I ever get super famous and super rich, like, all the homies are coming up with me. Like, I'll just shower them in money. And she was like, Jake, hurry the fuck up. I'm sick of working. Like, can you get famous already? And I was like, Mads, like, I'm trying. I'm really trying. And she said, and I quote, my best friend in the entire world said, you can use my tits and ass for your thumbnails. And I was like, you don't have to ask me twice. Like, you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. Like, she knows what she has to offer. Fuck.
100%. And she's 100% on the fact that if it ever does really pop off and it gets super famous and, she's in the vlogs and by that, she ends up getting famous as well. She's dropping an OnlyFans too. So come on, guys, let's pump it up. Let's get those numbers up so she can drop her OnlyFans. All right.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No, go ahead.
You go.
Go for it.
I was just gonna say that's exactly what I plan on doing in 5 years, man. Like I can't see myself doing anything else. And I mean, obviously there's other things like, I've got some business ventures that I wanna pursue, but a lot of that will come through YouTube and being able to advertise it through the channel and things like that. And the YouTube's definitely gonna be the main thing.
You know who you remind me of?
Who's that?
Randy, because this is giving me very similar vibes to when I talked to Randy on the Sae Bae cast. Because
okay,
same thing. Just fucking hated the game. Just like God, like he just wants to move on from the game and just do his YouTube thing. And so he's trying to get his IRL channel going. And of course, it's so fucking hard because like you build up a RuneScape audience. Like nobody wants to see what's outside. Like fuck off,
100%. And I noticed that Randy was doing that, and fair play to him. He did something that I would never do and just took an absolute fucking leap and said, fuck RuneScape. I'm only doing these IRL videos. If you want to see me, that's where you're going to. And fair play for taking the leap. I honestly just could not, because
it's just
no.
You
need money. You need money to live. And I think that's what happened to him. He gave it a red hot crack, and then he realized, oh shit, I am going to have to continue making RuneScape videos, which is basically, the situation that I've got myself in at the moment. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy making the videos.
It's the video making process. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's just like, it's also a means to an end. I'm trying to get the vlogs going, and they will. I'm 100% positive that they will, because, I've done YouTube for 4 years now. I know it's possible. I put a lot of work into figuring out the ins and outs, and the vlog niche is one that's very hard to get into because it's so saturated. So I know it's going to take a lot of time, but I know 100%, like there's a zero doubt in my mind whatsoever that in 5 years, I'll be doing vlogs full time for sure.
That's fucking awesome. And I'm glad that you're not making any crazy leaps, because those always scare me. Like I get nervous when a creator says, I'm done playing RuneScape, fuck this game. And then it's just like, bro, just give it 2 months or so. Like holy shit,
like
dude. You are playing this game a lot, and I kind of see the same situation. I'm just glad you're aware. You seem very just aware of your situation, and that's good.
Thank you.
But just like, you're clearly playing a lot of RuneScape with no real breaks because it's your job now.
Yeah.
And so, but as soon as you take that break, it's RuneScape. I mean, it's so hard to see it in the moment, but the game eventually calls your name again. And of course, it's not for life. It's just, you have that spurt again where you want to play it a shit ton. And, even Rendy, who knows if it's just, what he has to say for his YouTube to appear that he enjoys the game. But, I mean, he'll even say, like, I wanted to play the game again, and so this is what I decided to do. And there's money involved with it as well. But
that is something that you will never hear me say. If I'm fucking hating the game and not enjoying it, I will never say I fucking love this video game. Like like I said before we started the podcast, like I'm 100% open and honest. Like I'm an open book. I'll tell people exactly how it is. Like I say, I stopped streaming because I fucking hated playing the video game. Like I didn't say, oh, I had other things on. Like I genuinely fucking hated playing RuneScape, and that's why I stopped. And like I'm 100% honest in saying that. Like at the moment, I want to do vlogs, and if it wasn't for the money, I would just be doing vlogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's strange. Just kind of grow out of things. I mean,
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I haven't grown out of RuneScape. I still have a total love for the game. I've had times where I've enjoyed it a shit ton. Now I just, I feel like I don't feel like I'm doing anything crazy though. I just play the game in a really optimal way for me personally. I never push myself too hard. I will log out if I want to watch a movie, if I want to go hang out, if I want to do anything, I will just log out. I'm not thinking about it at that point. And that is what works for me. I still play a shit ton on average every day, but I will take 2 days off if I need it. Like I'm just, no.
Yep.
And that is like what you need. And it has to be a personal thing. Like some people can't play 8 hours a day on average for 4 fucking years. But if your average is 3 hours, don't keep pushing yourself. I mean, that's what leads to burnout, which just sucks.
I'm very glad to hear that, because a lot of people don't really know when to take breaks. Like myself included, like back in the day when I was first getting into it, like I just could not get away. I was so scared that if I took a day off streaming, like people would stop watching me, or if I didn't get at least a video a week out, I'd get less views and blah, blah, blah. And now it's just like, honestly, I've worked hard enough over the past 4 years of making the channel that like, if I wake up one day and I don't want to fucking play RuneScape, I don't have to play RuneScape, and I can go outside and enjoy myself. And like, it's nice to have that. But yeah, there's people that just really can't take a break because they're so scared of what's going to happen if they do. Yeah. When in reality, like, it's not going to be that bad.
Yeah. It never ends up being that bad. I mean, I guess there's a difference. Sometimes like the longest I've ever really taken off of streaming is a week. And that always is just like, God, this is bad. Like I took a week off and not even like addressing it. Like, Jesus. Yeah. But there's a difference between a week and a year. Like a year without even just ghosting everybody. Like that's bad. Like that, you don't want to do that.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You can't be ghosting the people that watch you, Yeah. Like obviously you can take time off. Like everyone needs to take time off. And like, I think there are some people in the Twitch scene that are just like, hey, you can't take time off. I'm fucking paying you sub money. You should be here. Like there's a very small community, but most people know, like, damn, it's like while streaming, yes, it is inherently easy to do. Like there's a lot more that goes into streaming than just pressing the start stream button.
And it's mental. Like, it's like mental exhaustion where like, like you could say your work is just physical and stuff, but like, damn, the mental exhaustion is just sometimes it's unbearable. Like I want to kind of talk. So how long did you stream for on Twitch? Like duration wise, like how many years?
I mean, I probably streamed 5 days a week for 2, maybe 3 years, like a long time. And there'll be times where I needed to take a couple of weeks off, and like
what were like the highs and the lows for you? Because every streamer is different. Some people take it better than others, but there's times where it's like you have a great month, next month dog shit.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like I always get caught up in the numbers, which is bad, but I am fucking obsessed with analytics and studying and like just fucking figuring out the ins and outs and trying to get the little 1%ers out of everything that I do, that I was just so focused on the numbers that like, dude, I would go live and sometimes I'd be sat on 3, 4, 500 viewers, and then the next day, there would be other people online, and I'd have like 100 viewers, and that was like, that fucking sucked. Like I used to sit there, I'd look at the number on my screen, and it showed in my live streams because I was obviously not having a good time, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, so that is definitely what sucked about streaming. But yeah, I had some fucking, I never really got caught up on the sub number, to be completely honest with you, which is like something that I was very fortunate to have, was the fact that I was doing YouTube at the same time, and YouTube was by far and away the main source of revenue. That's awesome. The subscribers on Twitch was sort of just like a little bit of a bonus. So I would have months where, you know, I'd have like 1,000 subscribers, and then because of, you know, some generous people in the community gifting subs, and then the next month I'd have like 200, and that never really got to me.
Yeah,
just because it was like a bonus, you know.
Yeah, and that's how it's funny because it's like vice versa for me. Like that's what YouTube is. YouTube, I just make change. I mean, you know, a few $100 or something every month, but I get to just enjoy YouTube, and that was like, you just got to kind of enjoy streaming. It doesn't really matter what happens. You're just trying to have a good time. With YouTube, it's all just a project. Like, but streaming's the thing that stresses me out sometimes. It's like, clearly that's the thing that's generating the most money.
Yeah.
And then but
yeah, no, it's scary, dude. Because like,
yeah, I mean, there's so much more to streaming than just saying play video games for a living. Like, so much more. But I will still say, just total disclaimer again, I would not change like what I have in my life or like anything. Like, so blessed. So just saying that, but it is not what I imagined at the time.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's super stressful because like you can say all you want that you don't look at the numbers, but if your main income is live streaming and 1 month you're making $5,000 and the next month you're making $1,000, like that is going to stress you the fuck out, and it's going to show. You have to sit there for 8 hours every day, like trying to pretend like you're not freaking out about paying rent this month. Like, you know, like it's just, it's definitely going to show. It's definitely going to show.
Yeah. But, it's just interesting how it kind of works. And some people are not built for it. Like, I would argue nobody really enjoys that kind of discomfort, but damn, like some people want security, and I'm not one of those people. Luckily, I'm just like, you know, whatever. I'm still single. I'm still young, kind of 26, pushing 27. But like,
oh yeah, you're still young, man. I'm 28. You're still young. You're still young.
So, but I mean, life starts catching up, and then, you know, you get, I don't know how it is in Australia, but like you get off your parents' insurance at 26. You have like, I don't have an employer, you know, I'm just a fucking dude like streaming, and now it's like, okay, I have real life goddamn responsibilities.
Is that is the insurance like health insurance?
It's everything. It's just like, like health insurance, everything. It's like you're on your parents until 26, and then I mean, you can get off it earlier, I think, but like,
Well, we don't have any of that shit over here because we get free healthcare. So.
Yeah, it's different here. Like if I got fucking, oh my God, like I don't even know how it is, because now, and it's a good thing, but now that I'm older, I just really kind of care about my health a bit more, because I'm like, okay, the last thing I want to do is go to a fucking doctor and pay like $6,000 to just a doctor to tell me what to do. Like if you do not have insurance, like it is wild.
No,
I've only heard it. So.
Yeah, absolutely nuts.
I have to just keep myself as healthy as possible. I've never had like any issues with, you know, health and stuff, so I'm generally pretty good with that. But man, if anything did happen,
if anything actually happened, no, I never had to worry about any of that. Like I was out of home at 17, and I was just straight into it. You know, it's just like ever since then I've been paying my own way, and I learned to be like, you know, people want security with their job and their live streaming and stuff like that. It's just like I learned insecurity from a very young age, because I was like, you know, between jobs and like living out of home so early, like still going to school, like I learned to just like live paycheck to paycheck, to the point now where it's like, now that I don't have to, everything is just so cruisy. You know?
Yeah. No, like you're totally right. You've probably had a more wild life than I have, but I definitely have lived on my own since I was basically 18. Just
Yep.
I would just go around. Like I've lived in multiple states and cities and stuff, and like it always feel, even to this goddamn day, I still feel like I live out of my suitcase. Like I can just pack up. Of course, now it's a little different because I have like a desk and a chair and shit like that. But for the longest time, it was like a laptop and a phone and some clothes, just one suitcase. I could go anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, dude. About 2 years ago, I moved out of my now ex-girlfriend's place. And when I moved into my apartment, I went round to my buddy's house. He said he had a couch for me. I was like, cool. And I went and got the couch. And then while I was there, he was like, oh, I've got this mattress as well. Do you want that? I was like, yes, that'd be fucking sweet. And I spent that first night in my apartment with a couch and a mattress, and that was it, because I literally owned nothing else. Like I just genuinely had
and you're like
nothing.
Good with it. Like you ever see that meme of like guys will like live this way and see nothing wrong with it? There's like a fucking lawn chair and a TV in a living room.
Yeah, 100%. It's so good. And like that's how I lived fucking for so long.
Yeah,
for
it's
so
not bad.
And I used to sleep on like a single mattress on the floor, and I would eat Wheat Bix with water because I couldn't afford milk. And
Bruh.
You know,
I don't know if you know what the word copium means. I know you're not on Twitch as much.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know
so,
copium. Yep.
Straight up copium, but like first year of streaming, I was living off ramen, and just the little bit of savings just went to rent and stuff. And like I was sleeping on the floor, and the copium was like, I would read up stuff. I was like, what are the benefits of sleeping on the fucking floor? And they're like, oh, it'll like straighten your, like you won't have back problems. So I like just convincing myself that like I'm good. Like I'm good. Like I was literally sleeping on the floor for a year and a half, and it wasn't like I didn't even hate it. Like I actually enjoyed it. It was you'll get used to anything, and but that was the life. It was like my tiny little room. I'd have my stream set up and my floor with a blanket. And I'm like,
unreal, dude.
I would
good.
Go to my bed and then stream, and then go to my fucking bed. Like, my floor.
I love it.
But that was cool. And when I told my stream that, they were freaking out. Like some people were freaking out. Like, dude, you should have told us. We'll buy you a bed. I was like, I'm good, dude. Like I'm good.
Legit, dude. It's like, you know what? I can't afford milk, and I'm sleeping on the floor. But guess what? I'm so fucking happy right now. Like it's unreal.
Yep.
Can I just quickly say, shout out fucking Nine Rain, by the way. Thanks for the question. I got to speak to him for the first time when I was doing the Rookies Battle Royale. And he is one of the most lovely men I've ever met in my entire life. And it was a fucking pleasure. He's such a good guy. So shout out Nine Rain.
That's awesome to hear. Because I've always wondered, I've barely kind of seen his content. And I'm like,
yep,
he seems like a cool dude, but I don't know him well. But he just seems like a really chill dude that's just there. Like, I don't know. I've never really watched. I don't know.
It was one of the best things about doing the Battle Royale. Is just like a bunch of creators that I'd never really had the opportunity to interact with before. Getting calls with them, like organize things, like, have a laugh about things. It's always so good. Like, even Jimmy, like we'd spoken before, we're like pretty good buddies, but like I hadn't spoken to him in ages, and like it was so good to just like jump in a call with him again, say g'day, like have a little joke around, talk about how things are going. It's just like it's nice to like jump back into it with a bunch of people.
No, and I firsthand know, because doing the Sae Bae cast has been the best fucking thing I've ever done. It's just I get to talk. I mean, this conversation right now, it's been so fucking nice. It's just been like I've never talked to you in my goddamn life, and it's like we're friends already. Like,
I was thinking the same thing when I was just taking a piss just then. I was like, this is a great conversation.
Yeah, it's just nice. It's just natural, and like I've gotten to do that now 60 times. It's just fucking fun every time. Like,
yeah, that's awesome, dude.
I've never gone away from it thinking, oh, that was bad or that was uncomfortable. It's like it's always just good. I mean, clearly there's guests that are a lot more just talk heavy, and you can just talk forever. Yeah. But
well, you're very easy to talk to. I've got a question though. Have you ever had, obviously not naming any names, have you ever had like a guest, you did a podcast where it was just so hard to like get any answers out and like actually get a conversation going?
Yeah. And again, I won't name names, but I mean it's just the person, I mean, yeah, they're just more introverted. Yeah. And I had to learn, like one of the first times it happened, I just realized, okay, like I have to carry this now. This is on me. I mean, this is my podcast, my show. I have to carry this. I can't just be like, oh, you're not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And it was never that. It was never petty. I'm just saying that. Right. I joked around about right there. But yeah. I mean, sometimes there's a guest, and then sometimes there's a guest that will just go on for an hour and a half about something, or 2 hours, and I've said
like
2
me,
words.
just doesn't shut the fuck up.
No. We've been very. I feel like we've been at a pretty good balance.
Okay,
you'd be surprised if you. I mean, I will just straight up say, like, Randalicious, love the guy, you know, HLC, of course, but no, but Randalicious, honestly, he is a good fucking guy. He is just a great human. He's really awesome. He is not what you expect when you think of a top page player. He's just genuine. He has his life together, has a home, has a wife, he's a police officer. Like, he's just a good dude. And but yeah, like in the podcast, I mean, like halfway through, it was like an hour and a half of like me saying 2 words. I loved it because I got to sit back and chill. But like, you know, there's that dynamic of a person that'll say like 3-word responses to everything. I'm like, but you know, I mean, that's just what's gonna happen. You can't have.
Yeah, exactly.
Not always
an hour and a half into a podcast, and you haven't even asked a question yet. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal. I mean, unreal. Just one more is like I use it. I mean, first hour and a half was like his origin story, and I fucking loved it. I mean, I know some people just want it. You can't please everyone either. Yeah.
100%. One of my favorite things to do is listen to someone talk about something they're passionate about. So like, if I had Ben in a conversation and I asked him his origin story and he was like super gassed to tell me, to the point where he talked for an hour and a half, I would just sit there and fucking listen. with my chin in my palms, like starry-eyed. He's a good boy,
and a lot of people do like it. But again, like you said, you pick out the one negative thing or the few little negative things, and then you like I take criticism and I try to definitely apply it, but I try to look at it like, is this what everyone wants, or is this just what you want? Are you just a very negative person, or are you genuinely trying to help my channel grow?
Yeah, that is something that I'm very bad at. Is that I will go through my comment section and I will get 10 positive comments and I'll find the one negative one and I'll respond to it.
Yep.
Like there's 10 people that come to my video, they like the video, they've commented on it, they've said something really nice about it, and I found this one dude that said that I look like Professor Snape, and I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you. You know, like
you're exactly like me. Like oh my God. Like, but you know what? There was this one guy, I'm not even going to give him credit, but for the longest time, he would always comment on my videos, every fucking video, and he would say something really sly and stupid, and you know, I just never respond to it, just never respond to it, and he just desperately wants the attention, just fucking desperately, and I just never give him it. I would never give him it, but he knew he wanted me to respond, and so he'd start picking like even deeper sometimes, and then eventually I did respond to one of his comments, and I was just so like chill, like it's just so nonchalant, just as if it was his first time ever talking in my thing. I just responded to him like really
never seen him before.
like I'd never seen him, and it was actually nice. It was just like, oh, and then he just kind of like stopped commenting on videos. He was just like, I don't know. It's almost like he wasn't expecting that. Like,
he didn't get what he wanted out of you, and now he feels like there's no point.
Yeah, he'll occasionally comment now, but yeah. Anyway, go on.
One of my favorite things to do. I don't know if you're like if you're aware that you can do this, is if someone has like been commenting on my videos and I don't want to see them comment anymore, I click hide user from this channel, which is like a shadow ban. They have no idea that I can't see their comments anymore, but I never get a notification for them, and they will continue commenting until the end of time, dude. I have so many people on my fucking list of hidden users from my channel. It's absolutely insane. Sometimes I will go onto my video.
Nobody can see it, right? Or just clear that
Nobody can see it.
Okay.
Except for them. They're the only person that can see it. And I will go on my videos sometimes, like in the early ones, like when I've just uploaded, it's been an hour, and YouTube will say 32 comments, and I'll click on the list and there's like 10 just because 22 people have been hidden from the channel. You know?
Okay, I need to ask, because this is something so fucking weird. I have never hidden anybody from my comments. Ever.
Okay.
But I know it's an option because I looked it up. I was like, what does this do? Is it just me hiding it?
Yep.
But what is the deal with me getting a notification that somebody commented, and then I click it and it doesn't link anywhere? Like, it just...
Yep.
What is wrong with that? Is that a bug or what?
So it's one of two things. They've either deleted their own comment and you still have the notification for it,
Okay.
or some comments get what's called held for review. And it's if you have like a blocked word, or like YouTube thinks it might be offensive, they will not post the comment. You'll get a notification for it, but then it won't be on your video, and you'll have to go into your back end and find all your comments that are like held for review. Yeah.
Because like I will literally see something that is just, it looks so innocent. There's nothing that could possibly have been wrong with that. Like, I'll literally just pull up the preview.
Yep.
I'll click it, it's just gone. I'm like, what the like?
For instance, I've got one here right now that's been held for review. This is ridiculous. This guy said, "Why does my map look different? I can't see what they show. I watched 3 different videos. I thought I was going crazy, but I'm not." That's been held for review. Like, you know?
Okay.
So-
Okay. I got to go in there because I know YouTube Studio, the app, also has the way to check held for review stuff. I just never really go down there. Okay.
Yeah. No. So that's, it took me a while to figure that one out as well, because that used to piss me off so
Yeah.
much, dude. Oh, God. And it would always be something like someone would comment something fucking stupid, and I would really, really want to respond to them. And then I would go, and their comment would be gone. And I'd be like, fuck, man. Like, I really, really wanted to say something.
Like, you knew, you already had it planned out what you're going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's always weird because, like, I guess now that you've told me what's happening, but I've had really bad comments that aren't held for review. So I'm like, so then I'm like, there's no way this one is held for review. Like,
Yeah, sometimes YouTube doesn't make sense, man. They're just, yeah. It's weird, man. Like, it's so intricate, YouTube. Like, obviously there's some dumb things like that just make absolutely no sense, but then it's just like there's so many little intricacies within the website.
I fucking love the analytics, and I can't even like truly embrace it yet because, you know, it's like just changed right now. I mean, relatively. But it's so fucking fascinating how many data points they have for everything.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know how they know how do they know if a dude's a dude or a girl's a girl? Like, is it just because of their Google account that's linked, and so they kind of make connections of like if it's a guy or girl? Or do you ever? Yeah. I can't remember creating my Google account and saying I'm a dude. Like, I
don't remember that either. I'm not sure if they asked, you know, but yeah. I mean, there's so many different points. Like, it's fucking absolutely insane. And like the thing is, like, all of these different like data points, like, they obviously mean something, and you just like, you can imagine some of these big companies that have YouTube channels that are making like videos, like fucking pumping them out. They have like full teams of like 50 people. You can imagine there's like fucking 3 or 4 dudes sat in a room on the analytics page trying to squeeze every little percent out of each one of these like different fucking like data points. Like, it's absolutely nuts. And it's just like, that's how to compete.
It's cool though. I wish Twitch had that like better.
Yeah. There's not too much on Twitch, is there?
There really isn't. And it's because, I mean, you can just create accounts and like you don't have to put any details in it or anything. And it's I guess it would be hard to see. I don't know.
Interesting. But yeah, no, I'm a sucker for numbers, analytics. Like, numbers is always. I was always a math guy in school, you know?
Yeah.
Everything
I was
else
initially.
was kind of just like,
I was initially. Okay, well, let me ask. Did you hate science?
I did.
Me too. I fucking love math, hated science.
I hated science because it was so broad. Like, nowadays, I'll go down a rabbit hole of just like researching specific little niche parts of science. But like, science in school was just such a broad topic.
Up. Like, the American schooling system just made science the most worst thing ever. Like, it was fucking awful. And then nowadays I'm all about it. Like, I want to learn so much about like just the world and weird shit. Like,
science is fucking cool. But like,
School
when
sucks.
you're trying to, when you're trying to learn something as intricate as science and there's so many different parts of it, and you're trying to be taught all of them in one fucking go, it's just like, dude, like that is just way too much information to try and take in. And because they're trying to make it so broad, it's not as in-depth as it needs to be interesting. Like,
Yeah.
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 I always find like I get way more interested in stuff the deeper I get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to bring up one more thing. I see a Twitter topic, but I'll hold off real quick. You know what I found really interesting is like sometimes just going back to YouTube analytics, I'll see a video that I put a shit ton of time into.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, that one just fucking flopped. Like it sucks
Yep.
that I put like tons of time into it. And then I'll make a video of 20 minutes of me talking. Just record, talk for 20 minutes, stop, record, upload. No thumbnail. Instantly does like 3 times better.
Yep.
And I'm like,
it's
and just to keep in mind, it's not about the algorithm really like fucking me over. It's just genuinely people want to watch me just talk rather than have some production. And I'm like,
100%.
that's cool. Like that's actually cool in a way because
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Caveman Only. Like he kind of he burnt out from YouTube, and a lot of it he was just saying it. A lot of it was probably just not enjoying the game anymore and stuff. But he told me that he just put so much production value into every one of his videos. It was exhausting to create.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm glad to be in my position where I don't really want to put as much time, and I can actually have the one of my best videos just be talking for no edit
100%.
whatsoever. So I'm like,
100%.
I'll just try to keep that up a little bit.
It's just that there's so many different things that go into what gets a video into the algorithm.
Yeah.
There's so many different factors. And like, let me tell you, some of my best performing videos have been videos that I've put absolutely zero fucking effort into. But at the same time, some of my best performing videos are the ones that I put the most effort into, like the Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like there's so many different factors that go in. It's like no one specific thing will push you into the algorithm and get your video pushed out. It's just like you need like a combination of all those things. And like sometimes you'll have a video that has a shit thumbnail, like you said. You don't even put a thumbnail on a video, and sometimes it does well.
Yeah.
But it hits so many other different points that the algorithm's looking for it pops off anyway. So I've had some times where like I know for sure the thumbnail's the reason the video is doing well. I've had some times where I didn't even put a thumbnail on and the video's done well. And it's just like, yeah, there's so many different factors that you need to hit. And like you see all of the massive like outside of RuneScape successful YouTubers that are just constantly getting viral videos. It's because they know all the points they need to hit. They've done all the fucking research. They've been doing it for years, and they make sure they hit them every fucking time. They have a guy making thumbnails. They've got a guy doing their editing to make sure that they get like the audience retention is through the roof. They know that they need to put out a call to action for comments and likes and subscribes.
Yeah.
Like everything that they do is like it's science. And they do it every single time, and they just fucking, they keep repeating it. It's just like, that's part of the game with YouTube. You just got to figure out what to do. And like, once you hit it, just fucking keep hitting it.
You know what? You reminded me. If you're listening to this, like the video and subscribe. I never do that. Like, it's so hard for me to remember to like.
There it is.
Because it's so big. Because I notice myself as a viewer doing that. If somebody just says like the video, I'll just like it. Like, fuck it. But I wouldn't have liked it if you didn't say it in the middle of the video.
I found a massive correlation. Like I said, I get pretty fucking deep into the research. A massive correlation between my personal videos where I get a fuck ton of views, like way more than average, and how many people have subscribed when they're watching that video. So I've got an analytic that tells me who clicked the subscribe button on that video. The ones that go like, not fucking insanely viral, but like in RuneScape terms, the ones that go insanely viral in RuneScape are the ones that I get heaps of subs, and the ones that do the worst are the ones that I have the least amount of subscribers. So calling out for subscribers is like such a massive one. I was actually did a bidder about this the other day, telling him how he's got like, I think at the moment, one of the best fucking call to actions is for subscribers. He just says like the most ridiculous shit. Like one of his ones the other day was like, "Are you subscribed to the channel?" If not, with all due respect, what the goddamn hell are you doing? And I was just like, it's just perfect because it's just, like, it's funny, it catches your attention, and like people are way more likely to press the button. So I basically just said to him, you know, like I told you before, how I got into YouTube in the first place was find the most popular shit in your niche and just steal it. I just said to Did a Bitter the other day, listen, mate, I'm taking that, I'm putting it in my own videos now. So
That's awesome. And I've just, even to this day, I still look at YouTube as more of a project, just fucking around on it. But I do take it more seriously now because I want it to grow. And I never realized, because when you first start a YouTube and you're just uploading random shit, you don't really care. But now I'm like, damn, like, it's crazy the amount of growth you can have by just doing little teeny things that people say, like, make a good thumbnail, make a good title, and those are so easy. Like, it takes no time. Especially a RuneScape thumbnail. It gets like clockwork. You just put up a random background, blur it a little bit, and then add some like random shit and make a shadow
100%. That's is a conversation I was actually having with Link Soccer Arena a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Is that the thumbnails in the RuneScape section going back 2 years were just fucking god awful, and it was so easy to make them better. And I said to him, I was like, we should try and stand out. Let's make some fucking good thumbnails, because it makes no sense whatsoever for us to spend fucking 30 to 50 hours making a video and then 10 minutes making a thumbnail, when the thumbnail is the first thing that people are going to see.
It's
like, that's
so
the
true.
reason they're going to click on your video. And so that was a point where I just started going absolutely nuts in my thumbnails. These days, I honestly don't really care too much about it. But like, going back a few years when I was like really pushing, trying to get as many views as I could, like I would spend 5 to 10 hours making a thumbnail, and I'm fucking terrible at graphic design. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
5 to 10 hours.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking go. Damn.
I think one of the ones I made for my my league series for the last league, I spent so much fucking time on it. Like 20 plus. I remember I was talking to Hootie Tootie the whole time. I was like, dude, it took me so long to make the video because it was towards the end of the leagues. I was going dry on stuff that I would just like finish my day of like playing RuneScape, and then I would just work on this thumbnail. And it was the best fucking thumbnail I've ever made. And unfortunately, I paired it with a fucking very dog shit video. And it didn't do well. You know?
Yeah. You know what's interesting is there was actually, I think it was a YouTube movie that was talking about movie posters. I don't know if you were ever recommended that. I was just recommended it. I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting, and I'm high, so let's just fucking watch it. And but they were talking about how like movie posters back in the day were all like hand drawn, or like you would hire an artist to like draw the movie poster, and it was like that was the movie in some sense, where it was just like you want to make this as cool and badass as possible, because like movies back then sucked ass. But I mean, clearly they were amazing for the time, but yeah, it was interesting. And then they kind of just started moving to just real faces instead of drawings or anything. It was interesting to listen to, because
that's the thing. Like, people, especially in YouTube, because I've said this for many years, like any other industry, people have done it before. Like, when we do YouTube, we don't have like mentors to look up to, because no one's really ever done this shit. It's like just come in the last decade. It's like we're kind of the people that are paving the way. We're going to figure it out for ourselves. And a lot of YouTubers don't put enough emphasis on advertising. Like, if you go see a movie, you know you've seen an ad for it somewhere. You've seen a poster for it somewhere. You don't just go, I know this movie's coming out because I'm following it. Like, you could have the best fucking movie of all time, and if they don't have an ad for it, no one's going to watch it. You know what I mean?
So like, fucking true. Damn.
And that's why you see so many like different fucking ads on television, like mainstream media, like advertisements everywhere. And like, people just don't put enough emphasis on it in YouTube, just because like, I guess they're trying to make it different to mainstream media, when like in reality, it's becoming the new mainstream media.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I switched to a communication major, and I took some advertising classes and stuff like that. But so I've learned a lot about this, but it's just never really clicked. But now, like, you know, things start to click a little bit slowly for me. But yeah, it's crazy how much advertising is just massive. I don't think I've ever watched really a movie without at least somewhat hearing about it in some
exactly. I've wanted to go to uni to like study like business management and advertising and shit like that, just because like, you know what? I said quite a few things on this podcast, like I have any idea what I'm fucking talking about, but in reality, like it's just the fucking surface. I really have no idea. I have like such a basic knowledge.
No. I'm just gonna just refute that right now, and I'll say you actually do because you've lived it. There is, I am not even kidding right now. Like you will come out of college with a full fucking degree, and you won't know shit about like actually doing it. I swear to God, like. You know, of course, the mixture of them both would be amazing. The experience and then the real technical stuff. But man, it is so much better to have lived it rather than to have just learned it.
Yeah.
So you're totally
that could be a good thing about actually going to university.
Oh yeah, if you went to university now,
it's because you know I have had the experience, and then I'll be able to go through like the literature and like the fucking.
Things would click.
History.
Things would click so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Just like, I remember this. I remember this. Especially if you've studied YouTube analytics. Like, damn, you'd just be like, know every like what. Like, I went into advertising. I was like, what the fuck does CPM mean? Like, I was that much of a dumbass at the time. I mean, clearly it's very obvious now, but
I'm definitely gonna look into it because I could really fucking up my YouTube game if I had a bit of extra knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, school's always good, but like I've gone to school, I dropped out. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to devalue school, but like if you're really passionate about it and you don't want to spend the money, there is just so many fucking free tools online. Like, like I know I sound like a boomer saying that, but like, damn, you can learn anything online. It doesn't even matter as long as you have the interest and the willpower to stick it through.
That I agree 1,000,000%. I am of the thought process that if you really look hard enough, there is not a single thing in this world that you cannot learn on the internet.
I know.
It's absolutely fucking insane. Like, you know what? I guarantee you could learn how to do fucking brain surgery on the internet. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but I guarantee, I guarantee you could learn how to do it. Just don't actually do it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's insane. And if you do have money, it's even better because there are resources online that do cost. And instead of trying to fucking pirate everything, like you can just genuinely just pay a small fee. Because I used to be like that stingy, college kid that would just try to find everything for free. Like, you'd have a class where it's like, you know the answers are on this site, but there's like a paywall. And it was like $5. But I'm like, fuck that. I'll just try to find another way. It's like, dude, just pay the goddamn $5 and then cancel.
Pay the $5, man.
Yeah. But like nowadays, I'm like, I'll just pay it. I don't really care. I mean, there's nothing really that is in that realm anyway because I don't go to school. But like, damn, I was so stingy. Like,
well, I suppose like, back in those days, like, I think we had a pretty similar situation. You were eating ramen. I was eating Weet-Bix with water because I couldn't afford milk. Like $5 back then was a lot of fucking money. Like we have a little bit more disposable income these days.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just anything relatively high, like you're just making a little bit more than you made previously, and it's just like
yeah. And that's like, I don't know, the classic question amongst guy groups is like, how much money would you need to suck a dick? And I tell you what, over the years, my fucking answer has changed substantially. Back like fucking 10 years ago, I probably would have sucked a dick for $20. You know what I mean? Now, like it's
now
bit
it's
more
$5.
than that. Now, it's like, maybe it's 25. Like,
now I'll do it for free. Like I'm that open to this idea.
I've been thinking about it for a decade, Sae. Like, fuck. Oh god.
No, but seriously, sometimes I wonder. Like money means, like especially like what you're saying is like that sponsorship. You're paid $100. You just fucking ask for 2,000. They would have just accepted. But like, it's that same thing where it's like, ooh, $100. Let's go. And now it's like, you got to 100% big time.
It's all relative, you know what I mean? Like back then, getting offered $100 for a sponsorship, I was fucking over the moon. Now, like, if someone offered me $100 for a sponsorship, I would spit on my computer. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, which, like, don't get me wrong, like $100 is a lot of fucking money, but like,
I know, but it's like you know what you're worth now. Like,
exactly.
Here, I have a Twitter topic here from Rune Master Fro. We haven't really talked about this, but He asks, what's his workout routine? Because he's looking like a whole Australian snack these days.
Oh, I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that. At the moment, I'm doing a push-pull leg split. So I do gym around 5 days a week. I'm doing chest and tries twice, back and bis twice, and legs once. And I do shoulders on leg day just because no one fucking likes leg day. And I need something in there that I enjoy to actually get me to go to the gym. But I go like 3 to 5 days, depending on how much I've got on during the week. I tend to go with my my best mate Andrew as well. So some nights he's not super keen on going, and we just don't end up going. But it's nothing like, it's not fucking wild. Like, I'm not out here just like fucking trying to become an fucking pro bodybuilder or anything. Like, I'm just working
health.
out and
just looking good
exactly.
and being healthy and just
living your
best
and it was
life.
like, it was one of those things where, like, I've mentioned before, like, if I jump into something, I'm jumping into it like 100%. I'm like doing all the research. I'm fucking looking up all this shit. And it's like, I'm constantly watching like videos on nutrition and fucking bodybuilding and like all that shit. I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but I watch a lot of fucking bodybuilding videos for someone that doesn't, let me tell you. And I just spent a lot of time doing the research, and end of the day, like, it's as simple as like, if you want to lose weight, eat less calories than you expend. And if you want to gain weight, eat more calories than you expend. It's literally nuts. That simple.
Yeah, it's actually nuts. I always, because my brother was always, my brother's kind of the same. Like, he was just all in as soon as the fucking needle on the camel's back, or whatever the hell that saying is. My brother finally was just like, okay, I have to lose weight. Like, I have to. And so he realized like 2 months in, he had already lost like 30 pounds. And he's like,
yeah.
All I had to do was just eat less. Like, what? Like, I haven't done anything.
Crazy.
Like, I'm leaving. Like, for the first few months, he was eating the same shit, just less of it, and he's just losing just buckets of weight because, like, he's not naturally a fat guy. He just chose horrible decisions and didn't know how much he was putting into his body every day.
100%. 100%.
It's interesting.
And like, it's so much easier to put weight on. I mean, for me personally, some people really struggle to put weight on. But like, for me, it was so much easier to put weight on than it was to fucking take off, because like, I fucking love eating food, dude. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I love eating food. And like, one of the best things I did was to like find lower calorie replacements for shit that I liked eating. Like, I'll make my own pizza. Like, I literally eat a pizza every single fucking day, but I cook it at home in my own oven.
Fresh
with
ingredients.
Like lower calorie shit, you know? And it's just like, over the past year, I've fucking fallen off my diet heaps of times. Like, in the last year, I lost 30 kilos. If I'd stuck to a strict diet, I probably could have done like closer to 50 or 60.
But you probably enjoyed yourself a lot more doing it your way.
Exactly.
You
And then there was times where like, there'd be a week where I'm like, shit, like, I've had takeout a few too many times, and then I'd like jump back on the working out and stuff. But like, it's been a fucking long journey, but I really enjoy getting in the gym and lifting weights and like seeing the changes in my body as well. And like, and seeing that I've actually got muscles. Like, it's fucking
it's cool,
unreal, and like having people comment on it. And like, damn, you're like, I had a guy call me big guy the other day, and it made my whole week. Like, what the hell?
It's fucking cool, huh? Like, my brother talks about it all the time. Like, I live basically vicariously through him because he talks about, his work day and shit sometimes. I mean, not all the time. We're not like just fucking gay best friends or anything. We're brothers. but occasionally when we talk and stuff, like, he'll come in and he'll just talk about, and like, he's losing weight. He's looking great now. I mean, he's literally lost 120 pounds. He's down to like, pretty sure he's at like 200 or 195. Like, it looks great. And,
unreal.
He just talks about it. It's like, just his whole life is just so much better with it. And I'm like, crazy. It is actually, it's actually crazy how, and we were even talking about how if you look good, it's just like you instantly trust a person that looks better. Yeah. Which is, it's fucked up in a way, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense. Like,
it is.
If I'm listening to a guy like a professional in his craft, or a doctor that's like obese, like, okay, I'm not taking advice from you, because like, you have to live, you have to practice what you preach, like
100%. Back when I it's funny they mentioned that. Back when I was playing poker, way back in the day, I did a bit of live streaming for that. That's sort of how I got into the content creation thing to start with. That was the reason I wanted to do a bit of YouTube. But there was this guy, his name was Jamie Staples. Shout out Jamie, great guy. He was quite overweight. And he mentioned one day on his live stream, he said that he knows for a fact that if he was skinny, he looked better, he would get more viewership. And he just went out and lost all this fucking weight. And then sure enough, his fucking viewership started increasing. Like, it was absolutely insane. Like, he had that first-hand experience to see it actually work. And it's just like, it's crazy that you mentioned that. It's like, yeah, 100%. You're way more likely to like listen to someone if you're like, you also think they look good.
Yep. And on top of that, there's even a second factor where you know you look good and you're confident. Yep. So there is, it's like you embody this confidence. So you've gotten to the point where you believe in yourself so much, like, you know you look good. Nobody can fucking tear you down because you've just fucking embodied it, you know. And but of course, you know, if you're looking worse or you just on a bad few days, you're just eating shit, not doing anything, even if you look relatively the goddamn same, you're gonna be feeling like shit, and you're gonna, if anybody calls you out on anything, you're gonna be like self-conscious about it.
And that definitely shines through. But yeah, like when you're feeling yourself, damn, dude. I always said, like, even as a real fat guy, I was a real confident man. Like, I've always been really confident.
Yeah.
And I used to just say, like, when I start looking good, it's fucking over for you bitches. Like, when I'm fucking feeling so good on the inside already, once I start looking as good as I feel inside on the outside, like, and I remember I'd lost a bunch of weight. I was at this party. I was dancing around with a few of my friends, and my best friend Maddie, she took this video of me and my mate Sam. We were dancing, and we both just like took our shirts off. We're dancing around, and the next morning we're on the train home, and we watched the video, and it was just so genuine. It wasn't like she was just sat there trying to gas me up. She just looks at the video. She was like, "Holy fuck, you look really jacked!" Like when you took your shirt off, and like, bro, let me tell you, my fucking confidence just went through the roof. And I was like, to the point where I feel like people don't even want to be around me anymore because I just fucking love myself so much. It was just insane.
Yeah, it reminds me of senior year of high school. Senior year was when I finally cared about fitness. And just, you know, I would actually work out my senior year. Before that, you know, you're just a soft kid. That was the term I put it. You're just soft, you know, like you don't do anything. Like you're just a kid. But yeah, senior year I took a little bit of effort into my physique and stuff, and like, oh, the compliments from girls. That's all. One compliment is all it fucking took, and then you are on like cloud nine. You're just the king.
That's it, dude.
You're the king. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, no, it's a great feeling, man. And like, yeah, like I said, like I've always been a pretty confident guy, but you know, when I was super overweight, it was just like, I was still confident. Like I would go out and I'd still have a great time. And like on the outside, I'm just like this fucking real confident dude. But like, it always like eat away at me inside. Like, damn, like you don't look as good as you could on the outside. And then, now I'm feeling good. And like, you know, don't want to sound too up myself, but I'm fucking looking good as well. And you know,
really
I think
it's cool to see.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah. I think it really shows with like, I don't know, just general day to day. Like I'm obviously like way happier and fucking, I think that really shines through.
Yeah. It is just literally hand in hand. You improve your actual physical body in good ways, healthy ways. And like, you're just going to feel it. Like and again, living vicariously, I know it's like a joke that I live vicariously through my brother, but like, literally, he is so much happier.
Yeah.
He used to come back from work and just be pissed off all the time. Like, just exhausted from just clearly carrying around an additional 100-some pounds. Like, fuck, I can't even imagine. Like, and now he's just always bouncing, you know, just like ready to do shit. He goes out more and stuff. It's cool. So
100%. Like another thing that was like affected me quite a bit is the fact that like, you know, being on YouTube and streaming, like I'm always on cam, like legit. And like, this might sound like an exaggeration, but I don't remember a single day, even now, like to this day, I don't remember a single day in the past 3 years that I haven't been called fat at least once by a YouTube comment, someone in RuneScape, someone in a Twitch chat, a tweet, something on my Instagram post. Like, to this day, not a single day has gone by where I haven't had someone go, "Oh, you fat piece of shit." Like, it's absolutely insane. I'm like, that can really fuck you up in the head, like getting that every single day.
I can't fucking imagine. Like,
and I always just think, dude, like, I'm very fortunate not to have like any like real bad mental health problems. But like, if someone did and like copped this shit for 3 fucking years, like, it's scary, man. Like, you got to be fucking careful what you say over the internet, dude, because you never know like who you're saying it to. Like, it's insane.
Nah, it's, again, it reminds me of middle school when people are just bullies or just ruthless with people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, just, like, seriously. And luckily, I've always kind of been at a healthy weight. I mean, sometimes I go through my little chubby stages. Sometimes I'll lose some weight, look good, but like, I can't really imagine being, like that, just that fat guy that's just called fat. Like, damn, that would just, because I see one negative YouTube comment, not even about my appearance, but just about something I've made on my YouTube video. I get fucking offended by it. Like, I mean, I try not to, but like, we're human after all. We want acceptance, and
100%.
I can't imagine it. And shout out to the guys that can fucking deal with that, especially if it's not really their fault. Like, if they actually have a genetic thing that's like making them fat, it's like just like, or like some medication that they're on, like, you can't control it. Like, I really empathize with people like that, because like, it's in my own life. My brother was pretty big, and I kind of felt bad for him. I'd always try to like, so what always sucks as well is when you want somebody to do better, but there is no you cannot convince somebody to do something long term. It has to be on them. It just has to.
100%, dude. Yeah. No, it's you can't really tell someone, you need to do this, because
can't.
Let me tell you, I've had people for the past 3 years, every single day, someone would call me fat. And let me fucking tell you, that didn't make me want to lose weight. That just made me sad and want to eat more food. Like, you're not helping,
It doesn't help, yeah.
Yeah, but it is so easy to say something negative over the internet because
there's no consequence.
There's literally zero repercussions for your action. You can say whatever the fuck you want on the internet and nothing is going to happen. Like, no one's going to come up to me IRL and just call me fat. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to be there and saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is wrong with you? Why have you said that to me? Yeah. Whereas you can just type it on the internet and then leave. And that's it. You never have to see it again. It's just like, it's insane.
Yeah. It's really makes you think. And I've mentioned this past few podcasts, just the internet can be so goddamn ruthless and awful and make the world seem fucking fucked up. Just take a damn step outside, take a walk, and like all that negativity washes away. Like, firsthand, like, I know it's annoying to go outside when you don't want to, but damn, one simple 30-minute to an hour walk, listening to a podcast, listening to this music, just totally changes your mindset completely. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I totally agree, dude. Like I said, I don't have any fucking serious mental health issues, which is great, but like, back when I was trying to make a video every day, not going outside at all, like, it really starts to fuck you up in the brain. And like,
and you don't realize it either.
Once you start getting outside, like, it's just, you're exactly right. You don't realize that it's happening. And then, by the time that you do, it's like, fuck, you're already fucked up. But yeah, the sun is insane. Just fucking get some. Just get some sun in your life.
Sun is insane. Like, you don't even, like, it makes no sense why it would be good for you. It makes no fucking sense why it would be good for you. I mean, there's probably some scientific vitamin D and all that shit. But like, it's just a fucking sun. It's a great big ball of gas, and you go out there and you get a little bit of it and you feel great. It's fucking weird.
It's insane, dude. But yeah, shout out the sun. That fucking big ball in the middle of the sky.
It's been so goddamn cold here. In Australia, it's summer, right?
It is, yeah. Okay. No, today it was 31 degrees. Went out for a walk when I woke up.
Hey, it was 31 degrees here.
Stifling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the weather's been great, dude. Where I live, like specifically, even during summer, like we tend to get a fair amount of rain, which is good because I hate it when it's like super hot. When it's like fucking stifling, oh, nothing worse.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
it's
like
always pretty nice where I
suffocating.
live. Yeah, legit, dude. Like you
Dude.
go outside and you wonder how you're not melting. Like,
Dude, I was 14. This is embarrassing, but I was 14 and somebody told me that it was summer or something like that. And I must have been 13 or 14. And some guy said, "You know it's winter in Australia." And I straight up just was like, "You're a fucking idiot. Like, shut up. Like, it's summer for the world, you dumbass." Like, I literally believe that, and I like convinced myself that he was just trolling me. And then I like realized, oh, I'm just a fucking idiot. Yeah.
that's like the most stereotypical American thing ever.
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like that's
just the world revolves around America. Like, there's no other fucking place in the world. Yeah.
I feel like that's how the rest of the world views America. Like, that's
Yeah.
just perfect.
I mean, to be fair, like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little uncultured. Luckily, I've kind of gotten a little bit more cultural with Hispanic culture because I like went to Mexico and I learned Spanish and stuff like that. And I understand because when I was a kid, I was that ignorant American that thought everybody was Mexican, like just so ignorant. But like I didn't mean to offend anybody. It was just genuinely I thought anybody that lived south of America was Mexican. And of course I was young. I must have been like 7 or something when I thought that. But like then you start realizing, oh, there's different countries and they are completely different and shit like that. But I'm still very uncultured with not to that extent, but like I would like to learn a little bit more about like European countries and stuff because those it just you're so invested in your own country and America's massive and
which makes sense, it's where you're from. Like
I just feel bad when I'm like, are you New Zealand or Australian? Like
whoa.
Are you a Kiwi or an Aussie? Like, I don't know. I can't tell the difference. Okay, let me ask. Is there a distinction that's very clear if you're an Aussie or a Kiwi? Like, just initial, like, impressions?
As in, like, I could tell for sure.
Can you tell over, like, the internet? Like, if I were to watch an Australian streamer or Australian or from New Zealand, is there a way to tell?
Like if you're watching their stream, they're talking? Yeah, there's a massive, massive difference.
What is it? What is it that I can know so I don't look like a dumbass?
Well, in our accents, like you can tell, there's a massive.
You sound
difference.
the same. Maybe I've never put it like side to side and see the difference.
I could definitely be biased because obviously I'm Australian. I can easily tell the difference between my accent and say Ron plays games, like he's from New Zealand.
Okay.
I can easily tell the difference between our accents. But at the same time, like I've had people come into my streams when I was streaming and asked if I'm from the UK. Like they can't tell the difference between my accent.
I know you and Elliot have been like friends for a while and like Ron as well from New Zealand, you're from Australia, and then like Skittler's from fucking the UK, and I'm like,
yep.
I kind of thought he was Australian for a bit.
Yeah, well, he gets that as well, and I'm like, I listen to him, and like I'm like, how the fuck can anyone think that man is from Australia? Like, what the? He sounds like a posh twat. Like, what do you mean Australian? Like, unreal.
It would be like, but I can clearly tell American differences of like accents and stuff, and where nobody else could probably pick up on that. So I guess it's all just like, being associated with it.
I can tell little differences in like American accents based on like where you live, like geographically in the country, but like not to the extent I think you'd be able to. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you where you're from. You know what I mean? Like
I have a very to me, it's normal because I grew up in Oregon, but I feel like everybody kind of thinks the West Coast is pretty like it's like the standard almost.
Right.
And then you go to the South and people are like, talking weird. I live in the South now, but I don't go outside, so I haven't picked up anything.
That's the thing. Like, that's the thing that really weirds me out because in America, like, you have different accents based on like where in the country you live.
Mm-hmm.
In Australia, it's like we all talk the same throughout the entire country. Like, I would not be able, if I spoke to someone, I would not be able to tell you where they lived.
Wow. Yeah, it would be pretty tough for me to be. It would have to be like very, very. What's the word for it? Like
distinct.
Like distinct, but like I I can't even think of the fucking word, but like just the stereotype of a Southern person. Because everyone's very nuanced. Like everyone has their own little quirks and stuff with the way they speak. But if it was just straight up like stereotypical Southern person, oh yeah, I could easily tell. Like
yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely strange. Like even in England, like you have the different accents based on you're from the north or the south. I feel like it's a pretty common thing within countries, but
yeah, it is.
In Australia, I'm not.
Mexico, there was like over 100 dialects, and I'm talking dialects to the point where you cannot understand it. It's like a completely different language. That is unbelievable to me. Like imagine America was just like separated with like 30 different dialects. Like you just actually can't understand. I know that's with Europe. Europe is like there's places where you cannot understand the guy, but he's speaking English, but it's so fucking thick.
Yeah.
Of just
unreal. Yeah.
All right. Well, I need to ask you. I'm looking through these Twitter topics. I don't see any more of that. I mean, we've touched on almost everything. Of course, I didn't ask every question or every topic, but is there anything you would like to kind of talk about?
Nah, dude. I think we covered a lot of things. Like anything that I thought might be asked was asked, and I feel like I've said all that I need to say.
I feel satisfied, but I still have the one last thing I ask, and that is 3 shout-outs. Anybody in the community. And
shit. Okay. Well, I've got to go with Skidler, obviously, one of my best friends.
The boy.
Been with him for years.
Sae Bae cast
really
alumnus.
What a guy. Lynx Ocarina. He has been with me pretty much since the start. We both brought our YouTube channels up together. Shout out Jack. What a fucking guy.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna go Ditter Bitter. He's the boy, man. He's like my younger brother. He was like 17 when we first started talking. Like, it's great because he comes to me for advice, and I feel like being older, I can pass that advice on. Even though we probably know basically the same shit, he always makes me feel like I'm super smart. So
like
shout out fucking shout out Mahir. Fucking what a great guy.
I like Ditter Bitter. I don't know him too well, but he just seems like a character. I like the way he just presents himself. Just a goofy guy.
He is exactly who he is. Like the way you see him on streams and in videos, like there's no show that he's putting on that is
like
just
naturally
who he is.
Funny.
Yeah, dude. He's just so confident and like quirky and just like it says how he feels all the fucking time. There's no filter. He is himself, and I fucking respect it. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, Jake, it's been a fucking pleasure. Literally, it is 6 a.m. right now, and I have literally loved every minute of this. Like, it's just been fucking awesome, man. It was seriously fucking awesome talking to you, dude. You're an awesome guy. So
I appreciate that, Sada. I had a fucking sick time as well, dude. Thank you so much for having me on. Once again, thanks for staying up until 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I appreciate that you.
It's the degen hours, man. This is like this was my afternoon. I will. No, I'll have your YouTube, your Twitch. I mean, you stream like here and there, and you also broadcast the events on your Twitch channel. So I'll have it in there.
Yep.
Of course, a lot of you guys listening probably already know of EVScape. Is way larger audience than me. But for those that don't, go drop them a follow. I'll have your Twitter as well. Is there any other thing? Your OnlyFans?
Hey, while you're fucking doing all that shit, make sure you subscribe to Sae Bae. Like, come on, dude.
Shit.
Come on. If you're not subscribed, in the great words of Ditter Bitter, what the goddamn hell are you doing?
Be sure to sub, boys. And last thing, if you guys want to support the cast, $2 a month as a pledge on Patreon. There's a link in the description. You'll have your name on the title screen. Feel free if you would like. And that's it for me.
And don't bother commenting down below that you can't afford $2 because we don't speak broke, okay?
Jesus.
I'm joking.
No, real talk. It has been a fucking awesome episode. Fucking shout out for the 60th episode. This is just a killer. I know I just said that was it for me, but I also need to address that we will be having Jake C on the cast, who is a streamer formerly known as Feels Incredible Man. And then we're having Hona on the week following, who is a girl streamer. So I just say the word girl, and you guys will watch it. So No, she
There
is
it is.
literally awesome. Maxed Iron Woman. It's gonna be just fun. She's so sweet. She's just awesome streamer. So I'm looking
Huge.
forward to both of them.
I love the fact that you're going from one Jake to another 1 week after the next.
Yeah, I realized that. I was like, like interesting. Yeah, 2 Jakes in a row.
Love
Have I had a Jake before? I don't know. Anyway, appreciate it, Jake. It was fantastic. So we'll
It's
catch
been
you
a
guys in the
pleasure,
next
mate.
one,
Thank
guys.
you.
Peace.
Peace.